And we have the junior final as well tomorrow between Kilmaine and Lahardon MacHale's. Coverage starts tomorrow at 12:40. We're going right through this evening with both games on this channel. And behind me I hear the tit-tat of studs on concrete. Claremorris are out on the field. And they're managed, of course, by Johnny Mulkeen, but they have a lot of other people helping out there as well, Mickey.
Yeah, Niall Heffron is involved there. Ray Kennelly is their coach. So Niall Heffron obviously came into the Mayo Lady setup this year with Frank Brown, and he's done a great work for them, got them to the All-Ireland final. Obviously just couldn't get them over the line, so they have a good management side. Billy Fitzpatrick, I think, is in the background there, so they have a lot of good work done earlier on, and good management side, yeah.
I see Noel Finnerty and Kieran Finn there as well. Breaffy came out. Claremorris were on the bench, so they went straight through to their warm-up area. They might come back for the photograph in a few moments. As a mark of respect to our late colleague, Breaffy saying the programme, David Gavin, we are using a number 33 jersey in place of the normal number 3. A terrible tragedy for Breaffy, for the GAA club, and for everybody who played with David. He played with Mayo and Rage, very well known and popular young man.
Yeah, David was a gentleman, an absolute gentleman, so it's a tough year for everyone in the club.
Yeah, terrible, and it's a tough evening. Has been a very tough year, as Nuala said. John Brennan is the Claremorris analyst. He's well known as a voice on Midwest Radio and a match analyst or a match reporter for the Mayo News as well. We'll get you down a step there, John, because you're going to make us all look Lilliputian if we let you go there. John, Claremorris, James Stretton not listed at all, so there's no hope, is there?
No, I wouldn't say.
Games, yeah.
No, I wouldn't say that. No, Liam. I think you need to look at it from the angle of the last couple of years. Claremorris haven't been in a quarter final.
I mean, no hope for James himself.
Oh no.
No.
No hope for James. No hope for James. Like, he's a big loss, but like, he's really have to roll with the punches now, and that's the way we have to do it. And then, James is out. He dislocated his shoulder last weekend against Ballintubber, and that's just the way it is.
James O'Shea is out, I'm sure you've heard that as well, but Breaffy's still very strong in the middle of the field. A lot will depend on your central diamond there.
Yeah, I seen Breaffy last weekend against Balladreen, very strong down the middle third of the field. A lot of really physical players. I was impressed with the likes of Gary Walsh and Aidan as well, but like, that's, as you mentioned, that central diamond that they have around the middle of the field. A lot of strike runners coming from deep, a lot of energy coming around the middle of the field, and a real physicality as well. What's
the impact of making the quarter-finals, having lost the last group game?
Coming from where Claremorris have over the last number of years, first time in a quarter-final out since 2012, we've been knocking on the door. We suppose we won a couple of games. We won obviously down at Kiltane this year. Should have beaten Knockmore in the first round, but like, it's a young team, and to get into the quarter-finals this year, a lot of them lads have won county minors, county under-21 medals. For their development here tonight, getting into a quarter-final is huge for them. Like, we'd have to be realistic. We're playing against one of the favourites for the county championship. There's no bones about it, and we just have to set up and try and stay in the game for as long as we can. Like, we're really going to be up against it here today. There's no other way about it.
I suppose that's the truth of it, Michael. I mean, Claremorris are really up against it here. This is a Breaffy team who would have real designs on winning the county title, and with Castlebar looking like maybe flip-flopping a bit in the last few weeks. I'll probably regret saying that, but there is an opening there. Yeah,
completely. I suppose Castlebar are the back-to-back county champions the last 2 years. Breaffy played them in the 2013 and 15 final, and I suppose Castlebar, got over them on that occasion, but they'll definitely be looking. I suppose David Gavin is going to be a huge inspiration for them, and they want to tribute a county championship to him. So yeah, they'll be looking to get there, and look, they have a huge, very, very strong panel, so it'll be interesting to see how tonight goes for them.
Okay, some scores I want to give you. Westport won 8, Ballinrobe 5 points in the relegation playoff. You've got some skin in that game, Mickey. You play for Davos against Knockmore tomorrow in the other half of that. Castlebar Mitchells won 8, Knockmore 6 points. That's just the start of the second half, so it looks like they're asserting themselves there. Midwest Radio say it was a cracking first half. We might get a bit more detail on that shortly. They're the ones, I think, this evening. Big day tomorrow, of course, intermediate games, the junior final, the minor final, all of that taking place tomorrow. And both teams, we said, going through their warm-ups. I want to talk about one player in the Claremorris team, John. We talked earlier on to Mickey about him, James McCormack, a fine young talent. I see he's playing at 6, where he's played a lot of football underage for Claremorris. Big kicker of the ball, very accurate.
Yeah, he's supposed James started playing football maybe back in 2011, 2012 when Billy Fitzpatrick got him on board, and he's really developed over the last number of years. And a lot of people now tonight will be shocked maybe his fielding capacity around the middle of the field. Like, he's going to be jumping with Aidan O'Shea tonight, and he's going to be able to jump with him, and he has the engine as well. He'll cover an awful lot of ground, and he's a real young player, and he's a great 45 kicker as well off the ground. I know James Shochnessy there as well, but like James McCormick is in many ways the all-round footballer, and he's a real promising prospect.
What about Ryan Quirk? He was a great minor as well, a very powerful man at the time. How's he going for you?
Ryan Quirk as well, another player that has a lot of county under 21 and minor experience over the last number of years, down through the past. And like, Ryan's the kind of player that he offers this kind of physicality in the full forward line. He's lining out at the full forward. He'll drift out around the half forward line as well. He'll pick up a lot of ball as well, and he has that physical presence. Like, beside him, Sean Diskin was one of the younger players in the team. Ryan Quirk will give that bit of experience. James Shochnessy beside him as well. Like, a real young forward 6, like Mikey Higgins under 21, Matthew Mackin under 21, Jason Tackos under 21, and Sean Diskin under 21. 4 under 21s out of the starting 6 forwards. Like, that's a real I suppose a thing for Claremorris, that if the things aren't going right for them, they need a couple of leaders around the middle of the field, and Ryan Quirk would be one of those.
Vastly experienced Breaffy management team. Nuala, Peter Ford, Shane Conway, one of your best and brightest, Marty Mack.
Yeah, and Jim O'Shea as well. I don't think he likes to put his name in there, but I think he's integral to everything that happens in Breaffy as well. Yeah, this is Peter's second year, and Shane with Marty and Jim looking after the club management, and we're really happy with everything that they're doing. You know, the team is well prepared, they're well focused. You know, we've really good physio in place, all the plans are in place. So I suppose, you know, we're really hopeful for a good season. But I suppose for the neutral viewer as well, I mean, if you look at this on paper, and, you know, friends of mine, I work in Galway myself, and, you know, they'd be kind of, you know, chatting about football, and they'd say, oh, you'll walk this one, kind of thing. You know, I don't recognise any names from the Claremorris team, but like, kind of as you went through there with John, like, Claremorris have a lot of talent. It's young talent, but they have a lot of county players as well. Just, you know, they might be minor and under 21, but I suppose we saw last year with Westport in the club championships, you know, young players have no experience of losing, and, you know, like this Breaffy team, you know, they've kind of come up short in a few county titles. So I think Claremorris will relish the underdog tag, and they'll be happy to go into this match. They've nothing to lose, they're just going to go out there and play football, whereas I suppose the expectation and the pressure is with the Breaffy team. So, you know, I think it's going to be a great game.
No point asking you or John for your predictions. I'm only going to ask Mickey. You're the only man that matters here this evening, Mickey. You're the only neutral in town.
Yeah. Yeah, look, you know, I suppose the bookies are going 1 to 12 on Breaffy, which might be a bit of a crazy price, and 6 to 1.
You win on that, did you?
I didn't get a bit of that. No, to be honest, no, it doesn't excite me. But you have to look at Breaffy's physicality and their power, their strength and conditioning work that they've done. I know after the 2015 county final, they looked at things, and Marty McNixon's got involved, and they went over to Conor Finn's gym and just said, listen, we need to bulk up if we want to get there. 2 years later, you can see that they're big, strong, physical men. I think Claremorris have gone that dynamic as well, but they're just kind of starting off on their road of S&C work. So I think just the Breaffy physical power is going to get them through tonight, with the likes of Aidan O'Shea leading in there and Conor O'Shea in the forwards.
Okay, thank you very much. We're about to get going here any minute now, here in Elverys MacHale Park for the first of this year's, well, it's not quite the first quarter final, because we have one underway, of course, as well, between Castlebar and Knockmore. It's just into the second half there. They're leading by 5, and Mitchell's leading by 5, the county champions, and there will be a lot of interest, of course, in this one, because Breaffy are the warm favourites, as Michael said, at 12 to 1 on. But Claremorris are a club with pedigree, of course, under 21 titles, and under 21 titles, and minor titles won as well. So we await the proceedings to kick off here, and we have Aidan O'Shea, the Breaffy captain, taking his place at the throw-in there, and we have, of course, the Claremorris captain, who, though not listed in the programme, looks for all the world like Aidan Butler to me, John.
Yeah, Aidan Butler would line it out at full back, the Claremorris captain, and a man with a lot of experience as well, but a young player as well, like, and Aidan Butler will give that experience in the full back line. I suppose, looking at the full back line, Paddy Barry stepping into the breach tonight ahead of James Stretton, obviously injured, and Stephen Brennan as well would have had a bit of experience at minor and under 21 level, but Aidan will bring that experience to the defence.
Okay, so 2 Aidens captaining the team, a great experienced man, as John says, for Breaffy to be bringing back after a busy and an outstanding inter-county season by Aidan O'Shea.
Yeah, he's had a great season. He really has. And I suppose I noticed the difference this year compared to other years. You know, when the county players came back this year, I suppose it was straight into Mitchell's, which is always a good local derby. And, you know, Breaffy were really up for it. It was a good match, obviously, to get them riled up for it. And they really settled back into the club setup. And I suppose for a club like Breaffy, although it's great to have so many county players, sometimes it can be a disadvantage because, you know, they can be a bit disjointed when you have your league and you kind of have one set of players and the county players are missing for a lot of it. But it's something we really seem to have overcome in Breaffy this year, and with Aidan as the captain, you know, we've a great leader on the field, a great leader off the field. And
yeah, and if you're just joining us, one of the other O'Sheas, Seamus does not play this evening. He's been ruled out. Is he on the pitch down there, Nuala? You might take a look around for that. I don't see him there, but he could well be. And they go into their huddle as well now, Breaffy and Claremorris going through their last bits of their warm-ups as well. Castlebar Mitchell's 110, Knockmore 8 points. That's the latest. 9 minutes gone the second half there. In the 10th minute of the second half, Westport leading Ballinrobe in the relegation playoff, 1 goal and 9 to 6 points. So both of those relatively straightforward so far, but there's many a slip, Twix cup and lip, and we'll have to see how the second half goes. So Breaffy will play. It seems to me, the way they're shaping up, that Robbie Hindley is going to wait in the goal, in what we call the bacon factory end. We'll have to see that. Claremorris just getting into their huddle now, and we're ready to roll any moment. Referee Ronan Gurn of Ahamore. As with last Sunday, 2 Ahamore referees. John Glavey, who did last year's county final, does the second game. We have that here on Mayo GAA TV.com as well. Let us know where you're watching from. And I know that we have Trevor Nocton in Lanzarote and Shane Halligan in somewhere in the south of Spain as well, and along with Catherine Sweeney watching in. They would have Davitt's allegiances, but they would of course keep an eye on Claremorris as well. Claremorris ladies footballers were playing today.
Yeah, they played the Connacht semi-final stage. Liam over in Ballinlaw lost out to St Mary's of Tulsk, I think 5-16 to 3-11. Very much in the game up until half time. Actually led by a point at half time, but I suppose goals win matches, and St Mary's will contest the Connacht intermediate ladies final, or junior final, sorry.
Okay, so it will be Aidan O'Shea and Robert Fadden who'll go in for the throw-in against Jim.
It's Rory Martin that has replaced Shamey. So Rory Martin, number 17, is playing at half forward, and then we have Robbie Fadden has actually gone into midfield instead of Gary Walsh. Robbie played a lot of his football throughout the league in midfield as well, very capable fielder. Okay, and it's David Egan and James McCormick, I think, midfield for Claremorris. The game is on and taken cleanly. No pressure there on Robbie Fadden. He's been knocking around this Breaffy team for a few years. And Rory Martin, the substitute, as Nuala tells us, in for the injured Seamus O'Shea. Gary Welch, Breaffy, coming up on the right wing, it's Evan Moran. Inside to Tommy O'Reilly, and a neat score, good start for Breaffy. Yeah, Tommy was exceptional last weekend between himself and Conor O'Shea. I'm not sure exactly what they put over, but that's a really confident start from Tommy. He didn't even need to look up, he knew where the posts were. He's played here plenty of times and just popped it over with the left.
Yeah, Tommy O'Reilly really impressed. One of the players that stood out for me last Saturday night against Balladreen in the quarter-final, or the last group game, and I think he kicked 3 or 4 points for Breaffy, and the way he links well inside with Conor O'Shea was one of the big factors for them.
So here come Claremorris. Can they conjure up something? But not on this occasion, and Colm Dravins is in the Breaffy team as well.
Our newly blonde Colm Dravins has started as well, so I need to figure out who he's on for.
Figure out who his hairdresser is first, if he's surprising you like that.
I think it's Kelly's Barbers that all the lads go to.
I see they've expanded their empire as well, Kelly's Barbers. Maybe there's money in that hair stuff.
They're a very stylish team, this Breaffy team, on and off the field.
Stylish work there from Aidan. And Aidan again, making good ground. He pops it down. This is a chance for Breaffy. That's James Minogue. But good work by Claremorris to snuff out the danger. And back to their keeper, Alvin McCallig, who has been involved at Mayo under 21 teams in a coaching capacity in the last number of years. This is Stephen Brennan. His brother is alongside me here. Stephen, who played with UIG, of course, in the Sigerson this year, to David O'Reilly. Inside advanced position for David Egan. We'll get John to give a run through on what we feel Claremorris are doing tactically in a couple of moments. Oh, great vision on that pass to Paddy Barry. Inside, it could fall inside for the Claremorris wing forward, Dasson Takos. It just didn't happen. Colm Dravins is there to. Oh, that's stylish. We might need to see that again. That was clever. So. Breaffy working it up along. Tommy Riley.
Jerry Jennings there, he's a long way from full forward position where he's named, but Jerry's a lot of miles on the clock, so he shouldn't have any problems getting back up.
He's after getting a knock as well to Jerry. He went straight to ground, and Jerry's not one to feign it, so we have to presume there's a problem there. This is Conor O'Shea inside. Good turn. Arcing kick. It doesn't make it. And the referee is holding up play. We're going to go across the far side to get a look at how Jerry Jennings is. He took a heavy knock, John. I think you might have been well positioned to see that. He went down straight away.
Yeah, he took a heavy knock there out near the sideline there, Liam. And I suppose this early stage of the game, with 3.5 minutes into the first half, to take a knock at that early stage, it's going to be difficult for him. He looks in a bit of discomfort over the far side of the field there. He's getting a lot of medical treatment. I think Joe Dawson as well involved with the Breaffy management team and the medical staff this year. So he's getting up off his feet there now. So I think he looks all right. He's getting on with the play.
Aidan Butler. Ooh, another late tackle there. He got up again quickly, the Claremorris man, but to no advantage. The referee may be going back to speak with one of the Breaffy guys. It could be Tommy O'Reilly, I think. I'm not sure whether your brother was involved there, John.
I think Nicky Pilbrow there and Tommy O'Reilly got caught up there. I think it was Nicky anyway, I think.
So he's calling out Tommy. The welcoming arm on the shoulder, hoping to mitigate, and gets away with the yellow card. There was a bit of contact, all right. In fairness to the defender, while he did go down a bit spectacularly, he didn't wait down. He got back up again. Nicky Pilbrow. That's Ryan Quirk. Oh, great block by Eddie Conroy. And you can't do that when the player has his hands down on the ball like that. Great ball inside. Claremorris really trying to work something now. And that's Conor Diskin. Yes, he wasn't listed. He's had injury trouble all year. Very powerfully built young player, a man with a great future ahead of him, it seems. And a boost for Claremorris. He can start this evening. The free will be taken by James McCormack. It is 1 point, no score, in favour of Breaffy. We're going to bring Mickey C in a moment after this to get his early thoughts after the first 5 or so minutes here at Elverys MacHale Park. McCormack connects, but left and wide.
Yeah, I suppose just from looking at it, see Breaffy playing Conor O'Shea in kind of a one-man full forward line. You know, they've turned over the ball Claremorris on 3 occasions so far, as Breaffy's 2. But look, it's early days yet. Both teams are just finding their feet.
Yep, early days yet, as Mickey says. And Claremorris win the free. And they come a calling again. They're trying to get their account opened. Long ball inside towards Diskin. Diskin doesn't favour his colleague though, that pass. And Breaffy in the person of Eddie Conroy come clear. Aidan O'Shea looks inside to the brother Conor, but it's not a well directed one on this occasion. Alvin McCallig and Stephen Brennan able to tidy it up, and danger averted for now. Dasson Takos. Eddie Conroy putting the pressure on. Free for Claremorris. Stephen Brennan.
Eddie has told us this will be his last year, but he said that for the last few years, but he still looks like an under 21 out there. He has the enthusiasm and the passion and everything that this is what this team needs.
Yeah, and he's covering some ground, it must be said. He's covering a lot of ground. Claremorris on the attack, just not coordinating their play very well. John, ball going in, but not a lot happening.
Yeah, they have a possession around the middle field, but I think they'd be very happy with the start. I think Breaffy would have been trying to maybe trying to blow Claremorris out of the water in the opening 10-12 minutes of the game. And in fairness to Claremorris, they're staying in the game so far. Another wide there for Breaffy. Breaffy not really clicking as well. I think Conor O'Shea, as Mickey C pointed out there, in a one-man full forward line, they haven't really got into this fluid nature of play that they had against Ballintubber. Claremorris defensively very, very compact. James McCormick kind of playing at midfield but dropping back around, I suppose, a sweeping kind of a player as well. Claremorris very happy with the opening 7.5 minutes.
Yes, they have certainly not looked out of place here in any way, but very early, no pattern has fully developed yet. And when Mickey Conroy and I walked the field earlier on, it was very greasy, and that's probably a factor as well in trying to direct ball into full forward line. But so far it has been characterised by misplaced passes into those full forward lines, which is unfortunate for both teams, because Breaffy, as both Mickey and John have said, have set out their stall with Conor O'Shea inside, and James Shaughnessy for Claremorris is a man who'd like good ball as well, although he's drifting a bit out the field. They have Conor Diskin inside too, so let's see how it's going to unfold now. Claremorris, Sean Diskin to Conor. He's so strong for a young player, well able to hold it up. Can he use it now though? Breaffy are calling for over carrying. He gets a kick. It was a bit of a Hail Mary one, but good work by James Shaughnessy.
Brilliant score.
Opportunistic.
Yeah, great score. That just to get them off the mark, Liam. It's so important. It's alright having so much possession in the game, but even just to get a score on the board, it's so vitally important. Conor Diskin momentarily lost the ball out near the sideline, managed to get the ball across. James Shaughnessy improvised, got his hand on the ball. Great score.
Yeah, great score for Claremorris, settles them down. 9 minutes gone here in the first half. A point apiece, Breaffy versus Claremorris in the Treanlaur Catering Mayo Senior Football Championship quarter final here at Elverys MacHale Park. Breaffy, the almost unbackable favourites, at 12-1 on, and they have not in any way dominated Claremorris so far, and they will hope to make something from this. This is Tommy Riley. Tommy Riley does well to turn Nicky Pilbrow, and stolen away from him, and Claremorris come up again. They're growing a bit in stature now, Claremorris. Inside to the heavily marked Conor Gill. Oh, well taken, but popped away. The linesman is calling it for Breaffy. Quick to Aidan, and Breaffy come again. This is towards Conor. He gets his hands on it this time. He's a bit of space, this time with the left boot. John Brennan is calling it wide.
Yeah, that's the second wide for Conor. It's unlucky. I suppose he had a bit of time there. He maybe could have taken a few more steps, brought it in a bit closer. I think what's interesting as well is, you know, in most of our matches, a lot of teams seem to double or triple mark Aidan, and we see that in the county setup as well, whereas Claremorris seem happy to let him play a more roaming role or go one-to-one with him. So, you know, maybe when he's less marked, he might have a more impact on this game.
Yep, another wide, as Nuala says. It's 114 for Westport, 7 points for Ballintubber in the relegation playoff. Mitchell's won 11, Knockmore 2 points. We have 9 minutes left there. That one has tightened up a bit, only 2 points in it, 111 to 2 points. We'll keep an eye on that. Of course, Knockmore is a repeat of last year's county senior final here at Elverys MacHale Park. On that occasion, Mitchell's were the clearly superior side, but they're not getting it all their own way this evening, and they are just a couple of points ahead. It's now 10 minutes since Breaffy got their first score. Mickey Conroy tells me they have been started well, got a score from their very first attack. Can James Minogue land this one? That looks good to me. We're giving that one. Beautiful left-footed kick.
Yeah, I suppose it's unusual to see James taking the frees, but Liam Irwin is on the sideline, who'd be one of our regular free takers. Liam was away for the summer, he's in America, and I suppose he's fighting hard to get his place back on the first team.
Yep, long kick from McCallig. They go high, but Robert Fadden adjudged to have pushed in the back, and Claremorris, Ronan Finn, former 21 All-Ireland panellist with Mayo. This man has caused a lot of trouble, Conor Finn. He's won a lot of ball inside, knocks it across, but just too big for Jason Takos. A bit of carelessness there in the Breaffy defence. Takos does well, brings it back towards Butler. Butler just can't get there, and Breaffy, Fadden, who had an initial error that allowed Claremorris to get up the field, retrieves it there, redeems himself. James Minogue in towards Conor. Oh, Conor comes out very acrobatically, but Stephen Brennan doesn't panic. He's one of those compact cornerbacks who treats every single ball that comes as, that's my job, one by one, step by step, no big panic, nothing spectacular. Long ball inside now again. It's this time John Brennan was hoping for a free there. Breaffy again, Robert Fadgen, 2 points to 1, Breaffy leading, 2 points to 1 here, and we have 12 minutes gone in this opening half. 2 points to 1, Breaffy. It's Jerry Jennings. Nice ball to Connor. Connor is, of course, as we've seen, two-footed. Back to Tommy Riley. Tommy clips it beautifully over the bar. That's a very nice score, 3 points to 1. Nice work there, Mickey.
Absolutely, yeah. Tommy Riley's causing trouble there. He's 2 points from play got. Conor O'Shea, though, as I said, he's up there on his own. He's winning ball and just flicked it off there. But on the other side, Conor Diskin is causing trouble here for Breaffy. He's winning a lot of ball, but they're just not getting the end result on it.
Yeah, Claremorris winning a lot of ball, as Mickey says, but not capitalising on it. And it is an old rule that when you have a period of ascendancy, you should try and capitalise, get your scores, particularly your underdogs. Here comes James Shaughnessy. He's very strong, low to the ground, good runner with the ball, good kicker as well. Will that one walk straight inside to, is that Conor Diskin? No, yes. It just went wide for a moment, John, for a moment.
It was a split second there. James Shaughnessy picked him out of the back post. I suppose the ball just kind of flew away from Conor Diskin, but as you mentioned earlier, Conor Diskin, one of the players that's really causing a lot of problems for the Breaffy full back line. See, what Conor offers going forward is he's very strong in the air, and then once he gets 1 or 2 yards on you going forward, he's able to break the first tackle, and he's just that kind of player that you don't know what he's going to do next.
Yeah, he's a very powerful player, and Claremorris have had how many turnovers, Mickey? 14 turnovers Mickey's counting for Claremorris. That's a phenomenal number. Nuala, I'm going to come to you in one moment to let you know Paddy Durkin has pointed for Mitchell's 112 to 12 points in the quarter final. 112 to 12 against Knockmore. Conor O'Shea sells the dummy to Stephen Brennan. Can he continue to make ground? He gives it instead to Evan Moran, and really crisp tackling from Matasing Takos. Then he lost it. The ball is greasy this evening. Aidan was winding for the left, gets it to Jennings. Jennings inside. This is good work by Breaffy, but the high ball was not what Gary Welch wanted. It was more a Gary Owen than a shot, and Claremorris come clear, and that's Paddy Barry, and that's another Breaffy attack. They're 3-1 ahead. It's not a secret of this one that neither attack is excelling themselves so far. It's still very nervous. Shaughnessy, strong as I said, thinks scores all the time. Oh, lovely turn, yeah, he gets around, but let's get back again. Darragh Martin didn't get clear. Back to Shaughnessy. Is there a shot on from there? It's tight. Breaffy are doing well defensively. Jason Takos has made a run and very well picked out by Ryan Quirk. And here they come again. David Riley. Never a doubt.
Yeah, he got 3 points against Ballintubber last Sunday, Liam. One of these kind of players as well, in the age bracket of 20 to 22, 23, like a young player around the middle of the field. And great possession there held by Claremorris. James Shaughnessy held it, put a ball across to Jason Takos. Jason Takos spotted David Riley, and David Riley there breaking the ball there to Ronan Finn.
Yeah, 3-2 for Breaffy, and we have Claremorris hanging on here. Nuala, you were making a point earlier and we just didn't get to you.
Yeah, no, I think it's very obvious how strong Claremorris are around the middle of the field, and we're really missing Seamus O'Shea, and also it's Michael Hall that's not playing for Breaffy in the back line, and obviously Michael is one of our former Mayo players, so it's Colm Draven's on for him. There must be an injury there, and Breaffy don't look as organised as they have in the last 2 games in defence.
Yes, thank you, Nuala. Yes, Michael Hall, the man not back there, a man who spent the summer in America as well, along with the aforementioned Liam Irwin and some other Mayo players, including of course Neil Douglas. And Mickey, just Westport 2-14, Ballinrobe 1-8. I'm going to bring you in a moment, Mickey. It's 112 to 12, Mitchells versus Knockmore. Mickey, a team has a big win last weekend like Breaffy had. Can it be hard to come again?
Probably can, yeah. And look, they probably had it very easy last week, scoring 6-14. And Claremorris have got into the game really well and kept it tight early on. So I suppose conditions have a lot to play with it. The ball is sliding around the place, but both teams are turning over the ball, and between turning it over and losing possession a lot. So look, it's up and down, but 3-2, very tight after 15 or so minutes.
Yeah, 3-2. Breaffy the leaders. Referee Ronan Gurn says a free there for Breaffy. Hello to Des O'Connor watching in London, and I hope you're enjoying the game. Do let us know via our social media. We have all the usuals. Liam Hindley and Paula Ballester are in charge of that, but here's Jerry Jennings. Jerry 1v1 against Alvin McCallick and put it out to Eddie Conroy, and it went wide. Mickey, I want to go to you. You've been in that position. Should he have got it himself?
Absolutely, yeah, it was a tap in, to be honest. He won't be happy with that. It was a flick in, but great work from Aidan O'Shea. Sucked in 3 or 4 defenders, got into Jerry Jennings 2-on-1, exactly what you want to do. But just, I suppose, a bit of hand-eye coordination. He missed it to the side, but Breaffy ruled that miss, I'd say, going on in the game.
If it was you, though, would you have shot as Jerry Jennings, or would you have popped it?
He'd probably get the 2 hands on it and try and hand pass it in if I could. He probably did the right thing, but just wide. Look at unlucky, I suppose. He won't be happy with it, though.
Okay.
I think in fairness to Eddie, he wasn't expecting. I think he thought Jerry would go away, and those 2 lads usually play very cohesively. You know, they both played in the Mayo under 40s that won the All-Ireland together.
Over 40s.
Under 40s, they like to say.
Yeah, there. We have a few over 40s people here this weekend, all right. I don't know, were they playing today? In fact, I must check that out. I don't think they were. And well done to Anna Rovers last night. Minor winners inside. Aidan has gone inside. Breaffy do this. They drop Aidan in. Big kick. Yeah, they're going to give it 4 points to 2. That is a Breaffy tactic, to let Aidan drift in for a while. Often done to devastating impact, and that worked very well.
Yeah, I think it's something that the Breaffy team and the Mayo team do. You know, Aidan, he's an excellent midfielder, but he's very dangerous in the square as well. And I suppose, you know, it's up front where we need a bit of firepower. And it's good to keep defences guessing too, because it's hard to plan for when he's in the middle and plan for when he's up front. So it worked really well there.
Yeah, he does cast a very long shadow. Oh, Aidan Butler stood up, but he was met by a marauding Robbie Fadden. And now good ball inside. Breaffy get another goal chance here.
Yeah, that's...
And this time saved on the line. It was Stephen Brennan that saved it. It was Rory Martin who had the chance, and they have fluffed another one.
I know, it was very casual pick up by Rory there, and it didn't have his normal firepower. I don't know, it was nearly like he was expecting the whistle to blow out the field, which it has. I don't think he put us all into that shot.
Mickey, the finishers union.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I tell you one thing, if I was playing for Breaffy, the game would be over.
You never missed one ever, did you?
Never. I don't think I ever missed one, you know.
Mickey Conroy, he came with the big news this evening, the breaking news that Seamie O'Shea was out, and he's on the money, but as a renowned Gullador, he wouldn't be happy with that kind of finishing. And Breaffy, latest scores, Mitchell's, we're going to check that in a moment. Mitchell's were leading last week, checked, it was 1-12 to 12. It's 1-13 to 13. We're in the 62nd minute, deep in injury time there. Westport have more or less beaten Ballinrobe. It's not final full time yet. It's 2-14 to 1-9. And yeah, we have, I think that's the action updated, but it's 4-2 here at Elverys MacHale Park. Breaffy creating the chances in the last few moments. Jerry Jennings and Eddie Conroy conspiring to miss, and then Rory Martin conspiring to miss, although kudos to the brother of the man beside me here, John Brennan. Kudos to his brother Stephen. Now, who took it off the line then? Back to Conor Diskin. Claremorris here. Oh, Rory Quirk did well actually to get a hand to it, because he was completely unaware it was coming until the last moment. Oh, that's a driving kick in by, it was Sean Diskin. Dropped short though, and Robbie Hindley, who hasn't been busy, he hasn't been as busy as Alvin McCallick has at the far end. And here come Breaffy again. They've Dara Moran breaking clear. James Shaughnessy, not his usual drill to be going back that far. And inside to Tommy Riley, game corner forward. Very impressive on many occasions for Breaffy. Turned over by Nicky Pilroy. Commentator's curse. And yeah, Mitchell's 113 to Knockmore, 13 points. We still haven't got a final whistle on that yet. Mitchell's clearly having a nervy enough evening against Knockmore.
Morris will be very happy with this, Liam. I think, albeit the 2 goal chances that Breaffy squandered there, but they'd be very, very happy with where they are in terms of the game. 21 minutes gone in the first half, 4-2 down, maybe being dominated around the middle third of the field as well. Aidan O'Shea is drifting out inside between full forward line and midfield, but like outside of those 2 goal chances, Claremorris will be very, very happy. Yeah,
4-2. There's an injury inside. A Breaffy man was caught by Conor Diskin, though I think in deference to Conor, he certainly didn't mean it. That immediately went to check how the player was. It was one of those ones where a ball was played over him and he was caught following through while not intending to do damage, I think, in fairness to him. Breaffy trying to restart the game quickly. Robbie Hindley, of course, an expert restart man. They're trying to keep the game moving at a pace, Mickey.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, you know, they'd have a lot of strength and conditioning done and keep the ball moving. There's the name of the game. I suppose Robbie's so used to it from Mayo. They work the lines, work the ball out really, really quick, and it works it through the lines. But interesting, Aidan O'Shea, you know, he's got one score when they isolated him one-on-one. But I'd say, you know, in his own head, he'd like to get into the game a lot more at the moment, you know. But just I suppose the game is very tight, and you know, conditions are playing a big part in it.
Yeah, it is a greasy evening. There's been rain, and probably a little bit of rain as we speak as well too. Full time, Mitchell's 113, Knockmore 13 points. They are through. They're gone through. Full time, Westport 215, Ballinrobe 19. Ballinrobe will play the losers of. If you figure it's a final you lose to get into, the losers of Davos versus Ahamore tomorrow in the other relegation first round playoff. Breaffy coming again. Colm Kelly. Doesn't know, does he want to shoot? He does. He sold a great dummy to James McCormick. I don't know, does he want to shoot?
No, he definitely doesn't want to shoot. I'd say he's...
You want him to shoot?
No, find someone to pass it to, Colm.
Colm Kelly was the man. He made more than he expected to make. It looked like it opened up a lot more than he'd anticipated.
Yeah, Colm's an excellent cornerback, and I think it was obvious as he was coming forward there. You know, he doesn't have the Keith Higgins streak to him. He was really looking to offload it, but the space was opening up in front of him. So I think he was getting a bit nervous there at the end.
He's making his way back, though. He has made his contribution. They have a very, very kickable one for Connor.
Yeah, hopefully now Connor should put this over and get his tally going for the evening.
John Brennan thinks it was of the soft variety, and Connor taps it over 5-2. A little bit of daylight, John.
Yeah, just they're kind of pushing on now the last 2 or 3 minutes. Obviously that free there, I thought it was quite soft. I thought the Claremorris defender stood him up, but Ronan Gurn obviously judged him to push them over. But like Breaffy, the last 5 or 6 minutes, getting on a bit more possession, and Claremorris, I think they need another score. They need to be within 2 points or a score of Breaffy at half time. If Breaffy go 5 or 6 now ahead of Claremorris, we could be in a little bit of trouble.
Okay, inside to James Shaughnessy. Colm Dravins is all over him. Literally all over him. The Claremorris crowd getting a free. Hello to Siobhan Regan and Cathal McKenna watching in Budapest this evening. The lights are on here at Elverys MacHale Park in the first of this year's doubleheader here. Of course, the one quarter final is already over. Mitchells have beaten Knockmore, and tomorrow we have Ballina versus Garrymore in the other quarter final, and later on this evening Hollymount-Carramore versus Ballintubber, live here at MayoGAA.tv.com with your commentator Tom Carney.
That's a tough free there now. I think it's a tough free there for Shocks.
Yeah.
If he can nail this one now, it'll be very good for Claremorris.
Whoa!
Goal chance.
Oh, well worked.
Jason Takos there.
Well worked.
Great work by Sean Diskin. Both Conor Diskin and Sean Diskin combined there at the back post. Brought Jason Takos into the game. Great finish, bottom left.
Great finishes, right. 1-2 to 5 points. They showed composure, Mickey C.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, James Shaughnessy, I'd have fancied him to score that, but look, it was a great quick hands at the back post, and Jason Takos, a good, great finish, low and hard. Nothing like the keeper wants on a day like today. Yeah,
nobody panicked when they got the ball there. They all did their duty very well, and it was a boost for Claremorris. 1-2 to 5 points. Claremorris back in the game. We were talking about a possible bit of daylight. Eddie Conroy to Connor. Connor turning. Connor, yes, gives a short ball to, I think it's Rory Martin, is it? Yep. It is Rory Martin.
And you know, I think
good answer.
I think this goal is what the game needed, because you know, it just seemed to be at a very slow pace, not the championship pace that we'd be used to.
Okay, we're just going to see that goal again. I think if we can possibly get to see it again, John, you might better just talk us through as well. I think 3 players. Shocks took the free. It went across to Mikey Higgins, I think. Was it Sean Diskin?
Sean Diskin at the back post, and then it obviously recycled across then to Connor, and then Connor put across to Jason Takos. Great finish, bottom left.
Yeah, great score for Claremorris. 1-2. Breaffy replied though at that point. 6 points. And we have 26 minutes gone here, and they're calling for attention for the goal scorer, Jason Takos. And they
needed that score. It was so vitally important. Breaffy tagged on 2 or 3 more points there. Breaffy went 8-2 ahead. 6 points in these kind of greasy conditions was going to be always difficult for Claremorris to chase the game. By the virtue of the fact that they got that goal there, it gives them a little bit of breathing space in terms of coming into half time now. That goal was so vitally important, and in fairness to Jason Takos, he got in the right area and he finished really low past Robbie Henley. Didn't give him any chance whatsoever. Advantage here now by Ronan Gurn. Another free for Claremorris.
Yeah, there's a bit of a pep in the step for Claremorris, and that goal has given them a great lift. You think James Shocks is going to take this one? He's standing there. IT Sligo man, of course, and a long-time servant of Claremorris football, and
still relatively young in the overall.
26.
Yeah, about 24 or 25.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah, and he's the kind of player, as we mentioned before the game, a lot of young lads. 4 of that starting forward line under 21 the championship this season.
James strikes.
I think he got it.
Yep, the sides are level here again. 1 goal and 3 to 6 points. John has made the point on a few occasions. Claremorris will be happy with this. It was yawning a little bit there when Breaffy went 3 ahead. Jason Takos' goal brought them right back into it, and the sides are level. 3 to 6 points. Claremorris beginning to grow in stature. Here's Eddie Conroy now. Quick pass, but didn't give enough of it to Evan Moran, and the Claremorris defence. Oh, they make a mistake, but there's a foul there. It was James McCormick who was trying to shepherd the ball out of there and was fouled. I think Eddie Conroy was the man in the middle involved there again, and Claremorris will have the free out of their own defence.
Yeah, I think Eddie was a little heavy-handed in his tackle there.
Yep, back to Alvin McCallig. So Claremorris advancing very much the modern way, possession being the thing. You hold on to the ball, you try and find an opening, and here might be one. Aidan Butler.
It's the thing about Claremorris, Liam, that they're a kind of running team, and a lot of young players coming right through the centre of the field. And just Stephen MacHale here he's only minor. He's coming on to play, and they play this running game off the shoulder all the time. Conor Diskin out of possession. Yeah,
Conor Diskin, he has been a fulcrum of their attack so far. Certainly in the first 15 minutes, maybe it's quite a little bit since then. And he's done a kind of an unusual one too, but a good ball across the field. And here they come again, Claremorris. Good work by Paddy Barry. Yeah, Paddy Barry. That's the lead score for Claremorris. 1 goal and 4 to 7 points. We have 28, nearly 29 minutes gone here at Elverys MacHale Park. And could Claremorris go in the ascendancy? It would be quite a performance by them. The evening is wet. It's difficult for football. Free for Breaffy, says Ronan Gurn. And Nuala, that's a bit of a setback for Breaffy to be 1 down now after all they'd played for a lot of that half.
Yeah, I mean, I think Breaffy will be very disappointed with their performance, but they won't be surprised with the power of Claremorris. As I said beforehand, you know, they knew going into this match that Claremorris are a very strong side, but I think they will be disappointed. They just haven't had the link-up play. Okay,
Conor O'Shea trying to turn to his left, back to the brother Aidan. Aidan, no way through there. He does a good high hop though, and deployed a few skills there, Mickey. He deployed a few there.
Absolutely, yeah. Linked up with the brother, you know what I mean. He's waiting for the shot or the opening to come, but he's so strong, physically strong. But you know, he can use it with his skill work there. A couple of jinks and found the opening, tapped over the bar. 2 points from play from him.
Yeah, they're level again now. 1-4 to 7 points here.
Yeah, I think Breaffy really need to get Aidan on more of the ball, because when he's on the ball, you know, he's making good runs, and as Mickey said, he's just so strong. Claremorris can't really deal with him, but he just hasn't been on enough ball to have a big enough impact in this half.
Okay, well, he's a man everybody watches, of course, because of that tendency to drift inside to try and get an opening. Here he is further out the field. He's just so strong. I mean, he's inter-county level, he's a powerful man, let alone here at club level. He can ride tackles so easily, make space for himself. He has Conor inside, looks like he's going to pop one in. He pops one into Conor. Alvin may have to come out. Alvin does come out. Ooh, it hopped.
John can call that a soft free, can you, John?
He's calling over. I'm not sure who he's calling. Is he calling one of the Claremorris players? Stephen Rinnan is the man assigned the duty of marking Conor O'Shea inside. It's hopped out wide, but it's a free in for Breaffy. A chance for them to go 1 ahead. We're in injury time here. A chance for them to go 1 ahead.
Yeah, Breaffy, you know, or Breaffy are trying to isolate Conor O'Shea. He looked for it there. His brother found a telepathic, you know, put him in high, and that's what he was looking for. Maybe a quick tug at the jersey, but it looks like Breaffy are going to take a point lead going into the second half.
7 points to 1-4. The Jason Takos goal turning that game on its head for a while, and it leaves it very interesting in the second half. Breaffy will be happy the way they've recovered as well, of course, from going 1 down. They're going to go in probably 1 up. They're 1 up now. We're deep in injury time. 8 points to 1 goal and 4. Conor O'Shea kicking that one. And we'll have Tom Carney at half time interviewing our guests here as well, Mickey and John and Nuala, to pick over that first half. And we'll join you for the second half after that here at MayoGATV.com. We have the second game as well, don't forget, Hollymount-Carramore versus Ballintubber, and we have the minor and junior finals here tomorrow as well, all live on Mayo GAA TV. That was a wonderful piece of work by David O'Reilly. He is a high fielder, David, and kicked a great point earlier on, a regular kicker of points for Claremorris. Oh, beautiful kick, just didn't get across there, it dropped a bit short. It was Stephen MacHale who took that one, and he just didn't travel the distance. He kicked it nicely, just tailed off.
Just tailed off there on the far side of the post there. But Claremorris, 1 point down at half time. I think if Johnny Mulkeen got his players in the dressing room before the game and they told them that we'd only be 1 point down against Breaffy, I think they'd be relatively happy with that.
Yeah, 8 points to 1 goal and 4 half time here at Elverys MacHale Park. The sides going to the dressing room. Breaffy nursing that 1 point lead. It was precarious enough. Jason Takos goal for Claremorris brought them right back into the game when they were 3 points down. And I'm going to hand over now to the presenter Tom Carney, who will take us through half time. Tom.
Thank you, Liam. Good evening, everyone. So, nice mild evening here in MacHale Park. Claremorris 1-7, Breaffy 8, Michael Conroy. Not the usual game style from Breaffy, but slow build-up play, making sure possession, not wasting possession. What's your thoughts on the first half of how Breaffy initially played?
Yeah, look, it's played okay. I think Claremorris are doing really well, I suppose. On the flip side of things, Breaffy did have 2 very good goal chances. Had they gone in, you're looking at 2-8 to 1-4, you know what I mean, which it might have put a different perspective on the scoreboard. But they didn't go in, and Claremorris are right in the game. You know, I suppose coming off last week's win, they scored 6-14. It's a big score to clock up. While coming into here, they might have been a bit flat and might have been a bit tested. You know, Claremorris have come all guns blazing, and they've done really well and put up the challenge. James O'Shea obviously is going to be last coming into it. You know, I think conditions, it's slippy, ball handling skills have a lot to play in it, but all to play for in the second half.
Coming into the game, as you mentioned, Breaffy had a big win last week. I mean, they've amassed 13-38 in the 3 games they've played in the championship. They've been scoring goals fairly easily. As you say, the 2 chances there, one of them you could have said was open goal.
Yeah.
I know Liam mentioned to you in commentary that it was, you never missed one like that yourself, but they're creating the chances. They just have to persevere with the game. The game plan from Breaffy seems simple enough. Play early ball into Conor O'Shea, look for the runners coming through, and the gaps will open up.
Yeah, I think they're looking for Conor in there the whole time. They're kind of isolating him one-on-one, you know, but they're just kind of, I suppose, Breaffy have 2 40-plus guys in the forward line, and they're very smart on the ball, you know. Now, I know it's the both of them that they created the goal chance, came from Aidan O'Shea, sucked in 4 or 5 lads into Jerry Jennings, and exactly what they've done in training, I'd say, all winter, 2-on-1 situation across. Jerry will be very disappointed with the one hand. Maybe he could have been more direct and got the 2 hands on it, but look, that could have been a good goal. That was a very good goal chance with them, and you know, I think Moran, the number 7, had another good goal chance that he won't be happy with, but Claremorris cleared it off the line, you know. But look, going into the second half, as I said, there's only a point in it, you know, unless things change. Breaffy, you know, will be looking to get a goal, and they have got lots of goals down through the campaign this year, so I'd say they'll be looking to hit the net definitely in the second half very early if they can.
Claremorris will be more than happy with being a point in it at half time. They've got 240 in the games they've played. Now both teams had only conceded 2 goals coming up to this, so the defences have been fairly well matched, and some would say Breaffy have been quite strong in the group that they were in. But Claremorris have played fairly smartly themselves. The distribution of the ball is very effective, and they're looking for James Chauncey inside, and their mobility, has that impressed you?
Yeah, absolutely. They've done really well, you know. I suppose, you know, because Breaffy kind of playing them, a lot of the game is between the 3-quarter line onwards, you know what I mean. There's a big gap, you know, because Breaffy have played one man inside, so they're very defensive. But look, Claremorris have come with a lot of energy. You know, I said they'd be delighted going in at half time 1-4 to 8, considering the goal chances that they did give away. But they've been, you know, they've taken a lot of the chances that they've got. James Shotton, he scored a great point there, and he's got 1 very good point from play. So they'll be happy going in at half time and just looking to keep going the second half, and maybe throw in a couple of subs if they have them to see at home or try anyway.
There's a lot to be said for the MacHale Park pitch. It's a big wide open space, unlike Breaffy somewhere, which is quite tight, and even Claremorris, their pitches are quite tight, and the way Claremorris have played the counter attack as well has been very effective.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, they're different pitches. Normally, if your home ground is MacHale Park, there's nowhere to hide out there, and it's like Bacon last weekend. You know, where Breaffy played last weekend. But Seamus O'Shea, I'd say, is a huge loss to this side, and seems to be so far. You know, and even a huge leader there from the midfield, and you know, a lot of the ball is going midfield, and Claremorris have done very well there with David O'Reilly in there so far. So look at there will be changes in the second half. It'll be interesting to see what's going to happen.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. We'll bring in John and Nuala, who are the co-commentators for the game today. Start first with you, John. Impressed with how your brother's doing?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Stephen, I suppose he has his work cut up there with Conor O'Shea in the full forward line. But I think defensively, Claremorris will be very happy with that first half performance. I was just touching on in commentary there that if Johnny Mulkeen sent his players out before the game, that they would have been 1 point down to Breaffy at half time. I think they would have bitten their arm off of that, because like coming into this game, Breaffy were the team that everyone thought, are they going to bridge this gap this year? They had that phenomenal performance last week against Ballintubber. I seen them there in the flesh. They really were so strong, physicality, took their score so well, and even the likes of Liam Irwin was only coming off the bench, and a number of these players not even starting. Matthew Rand didn't even get any game time. So I think Claremorris coming into this game were very much kind of like, we're in a quarter-final for the first time in 2012. We have to put up a big performance. We, like a lot of young players in the team, we cannot have a heavy defeat under our belts, because for their development going forward, it was vital. But to be 1 point down at half time, I suppose at certain stages we missed 1 or 2 scores there that we could have been a level or 1 point up, but definitely happy with that first half performance.
The concern might be, though, that defensively you were open up for 2 clear goal chances, which on another day may have gone in, but they weren't taken, and it is only a 1 point game. But the scoring rate for Claremorris as well, they've been quite clinical when they have had possession of the ball.
Yeah, Claremorris down through the last couple of weeks, definitely the likes of James Shaughnessy inside. I know they missed a couple of chances there. Steve MacHale pulled one wide, but as you mentioned, those 2 goal opportunities that they did create, Eddie Conroy as well, possibly, I know the Jerry Jennings should have went himself, but definitely Breaffy have carved Claremorris open twice in the second half. Definitely the score should be 2-6 to 1-5 or 1-4, but like Claremorris, after all the possession that they had, that goal from Jason Tackles is crucial. It was so important. At that stage of the game, it was 5 points to 2. If Breaffy went down and kicked another 3 or 4 points, 8-2, you'd be kind of thinking now we're kind of in damage limitation territory. But that goal from Jason Tackles was so important, and it really gave them a lifeline, gave them an injection of, I suppose, going into the dressing room now that we're in this game.
Bit of extra belief.
Yeah, extra belief, that's it. We're in the game, and it was so important, because a lot of young players in that team, a lot of under-21s. I don't know over the whole course of the panel of 26, I think there's up on 8 or 9 under-21s. So to be going in 1 point down, to have that belief in the dressing room. I know Ray Kennelly be inside there now, he'll be banging tables and he'll be banging doors, and it's so important for them. I'm telling you, that goal was so important.
And alluded there, the 2 goal chances were obvious, one of the big factors in the game, but also the loss of Seamie O'Shea from midfield. But how do you feel overall, Peter Ford and Shane will be talking to the players inside?
I think they'll be really disappointed with that performance. I suppose we talked about it before the match, Breaffy's last 2 matches. I said I think it had to be discredited because Mitchells didn't have their county players, Ballydreen didn't have Andy, that type of thing. But at the same time, the Breaffy were putting nice passes together. There was a really good sequence of play. It was fast. They've been high power games, whereas this game, it's not the pace that Breaffy usually play at. It's very stop-starty, and I suppose Peter Ford, anyone who knows him knows he's a quiet man, but I can't imagine he's going to be too quiet there at half time. I think he's going to be very disappointed. Breaffy knew that Claremorris had a lot of strength. Breaffy weren't coming into this thinking we'll walk this, but at the same time I think they'll be very disappointed. I think isolating Conor up front isn't really working. He's won a couple of frees there towards the end of the half, but I think he needs more support. Tommy O'Reilly's playing well, but I think a more traditional full forward line would suit Breaffy today. And also in defence they're missing Michael Hall. I hadn't heard about this before the game, but I was just talking to his mother there at half time. It's a tummy bug he has, so that's why he's out. So I suppose you can't plan for these things, but I think it's very evident that he's missing there at full back, and that's where Claremorris are kind of, when they get the ball they're coming in at pace, and where Michael would normally be there to stop them, they're getting in way too easily. Yeah,
I mean the spine of the team there with Seamie in midfield, Michael at full back, but at the same time the goal chances were limited for Claremorris. Now the big thing is that both teams have only conceded 2 goals in their previous games, and Breaffy obviously conceded to Claremorris there, so defensively they have been tight. Expectations for the second half, how do you think firstly Breaffy will come out and approach the second half?
Well, I'd be shocked if they don't come out with a bit more passion, a bit more strength, a bit more fire in their bellies, and I think they really need to get Aidan on the ball more, and they just, we don't want it to be another season where we've left something on the pitch or left something in the dressing room, want to leave it all on the pitch, and they really need to get going.
So the dream for the first Mo Clare Cup is still on?
well.
It's a long time since 1971.
1971,
yes.
Long time.
Long time, and Claremorris' dream is still on. Point in it.
Do you want my honest answer?
Heart says one thing, head says another.
No,
but
I honestly do believe if we're in this game 2 or 3 points with 12, 13 minutes to go, I'm telling you, there'll be a lot of people around the county with a couple of raised eyebrows.
Okay, thanks very much, John. Nuala, we'll let you get back into position. We're going to hand back to Liam Horn, almost ready for the second half.
Well, we're ready, but the two teams aren't ready yet. But we'll be ready to roll right fairly soon. We're waiting on the teams to come back out on the field. And it is, as Thomas said, 8 points to 1 goal and 4. Breaffy leading by the slenderest of margins. And it will be very interesting to see can Claremorris sustain that. Can they got the goal from Jason Takos. It was a lifeline at the time, John. It was something they needed, but they all count and they all play their part.
Yeah, we kind of just touched on it there. Like a scoreline of 8 points to 2 or 8 points to 3 at half time would have been demoralising for Claremorris, and the fact that they got that goal at such a vital time in the game to draw themselves level 1, 2 to 5 points, it was so important. And for them going forward now in terms of the belief inside in the dressing room, it was so important for them that they actually believe, God, we're in this game. And there's a chance here. Breaffy, this team that everyone talked about as potential county champions, Claremorris have them on the rack here, and people don't need to look back to the league game about maybe 2 months ago. I know it was only a league game in the middle of April, but Breaffy only beat Claremorris 12 points to 10 that afternoon. So it definitely Claremorris in with a huge chance here. I wouldn't rule them out, honest to God.
Just to move away from football for a minute, since Claremorris are still in their banging tables and whatever else John said they'd be doing, but just to give a little mention, Breaffy GAA are actually organising a lovely event. Now it's more for the ladies who are tuned in today, but it's Afternoon Delight, so it's on the Monday of the October bank holiday, and it's going to be an afternoon tea with a fashion show. And Mickey Conroy's smiling, I think he wants to buy a ticket.
Afternoon Delight, that's his middle name.
Well, just to let him know, the tickets can be purchased online, Mickey. You can get them on our Club Funder site, or you can get them from the committee members as well. But we'll have a blogger there, Lisa's Lust List. I know you follow her, and the local business has really gotten behind it, and we're really looking forward to it.
You'll be there, Mickey.
I'll be there, yeah, looking forward to it. I'm just so excited. That's what I was doing. That was what I was at there. I'm so excited.
Well, Claremorris have finished their half-time deliberations. James Shaughnessy is out on the field. He's an important man for them. The point is made to be at half-time by John Casey, the former Mayo player, the Midwest radio analyst, and national radio guy as well, that he's a spitting image of Brendan Fitz in his style. He's low to the ground, strong, carries the ball well, accurate of course. Bit of a generation gap though.
Oh, big generation gap, I think. But I know James is an exceptionally good forward, and I think they've relocated him out now to the half forward line for the opening start of the second half. And I think Claremorris taking Ryan Quirk out from full forward, his position, putting Connor inside at full forward. A good tactical call there by Johnny Mulkeen.
Yep, Claremorris supporters in the crowd are raising a bit of a voice. They're hoping that there's something in this for them.
I think that was the Breaffy people.
And I would recognise the South Mayo roar anywhere, Nuala. So John and Nuala just checking to see if there are any substitutions, of course, at the start of the second half.
I don't think Breaffy have any changes.
Okay, Robbie Fadden has the ball for Breaffy. 8 points to 1 goal and 4, 1 point to the good. Breaffy the leaders. Oh, beautifully dropped into Rory Martin. Martin has got a yard on Paddy Barry. He's making it into 2. And, had he goal on the mind?
Yeah, goal chance. It was another goal chance really, but I think he went for the score, chipped it over, you know what I mean? But Breaffy made a good start to the second half.
Yeah, Alvin MacHale was off his line, but he's a big man to be trying to chip, so I think Rory Martin probably, as Mickey says, was going for the point, but it could have dipped in viciously.
Rory's been known to poach a few goals, so I'm not sure if he was going for the point, but we'll take Anthony at this stage.
Thumping kick out from Alvin MacHale. Destin Takos, great win from him there. Claremorris doing well on that one. Back to Takos again, linking play as well, and that's Ronan Finn. And Claremorris trying to work something here. David O'Reilly back to Shocks. Shocks knocks it inside. Little nudge from Diskin, uses the power to good effect, created a bit of space, got away with it. John is not as strict on Claremorris getting away with it, I notice, as he is when Breaffy, but that's the way it goes. And Claremorris forced to reset, and long ball in from O'Reilly. You'd wonder, is it the one they wanted? gave the Colin Dravens, the newly blonde Colin Dravens, but it's a foul and a free end for Claremorris, and a chance for them to pull it back to 1 point.
Yeah, I'd be agree with that now.
I bet you would, yeah.
It was a soft one, but we'll take it. Get back within one.
Soft free, yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely soft free. This is bread and butter for James Shaughnessy. He's kicked these 100 times, so I'd imagine this is a straightforward to put back to 1 in it.
James Shaughnessy, Shocks, one of the great Claremorris footballers, makes no mistake. 9-1-5, 1 point.
Yeah, I think he got a nice angle for himself there, and it was an even easier kick by the time he took it. But Colin Dravens would be very disappointed with that. I thought it was, a good tackle from him, and he'd be disappointed to have conceded a free there.
So, pushing the back. Breaffy trying to restart quickly, and Aidan moves it on to Robert Fadden. Robert has storming alongside him James Minogue. Handling not as good as it might be though, and the chance goes a begging. The referee may be calling James Minogue. Was the pass bad, or did he fail to grab it?
Yeah, I think it was just a hand in there. The pass wasn't too bad. It was just out in front of him, maybe a small bit, but just dropped it and then slid in. He could see himself on a yellow card here, but there wasn't much in it.
His frustration got the better of him when he spilled the ball. He possibly was looking at a goal chance if he'd held it, and a yellow card for James Minogue and a long, lonely run back with nothing to show for that, bar the yellow card. Claremorris. Mickey Pilbrow, fouled by Conor O'Shea. Back to Alvin. Stephen Brennan now. David Egan. Here they come now. This is James McCormack. McCormack flashes out to the left wing, but that's a badly placed pass as well, and this gives Breaffy a chance, and Tommy Riley is roaring for it. It's O'Reilly ahead of Brennan, and ahead of Pilbrow, and he has Alvin McCallig inside. O'Reilly, he turns. Can he make more room? It's all a bit tight. Referee says the tackle was clear. Tommy is pleading to the umpires that he was fouled. Mickey, call it.
Yeah, I think he was looking for the free. I do that myself a lot, you know what I mean? Ronan Garron normally gives it to me, though, in fairness. Tommy Riley must be friends with him.
So, free in for Breaffy, 9 points to 1 goal and 5. 1 point between the teams. That Claremorris goal by Jason Takos in the first half, keeping them in the game. They're not doing enough though from general play in the second half. Breaffy beginning to control things again, though they're far from economical on the ball either. Aidan, heavy shielding, good tackling. It's a line ball. Connor's running, looking for it. He's still going. Will Aidan pop it in? He doubles back, but to the midfielder Gary Walsh, back to Aidan and Jerry Jennings now. Jerry still probing, making a bit of ground. Back to James Minogue. Robbie Fadden. James Shaughnessy steals in and puts it nicely too far in front of the midfielder David Egan. And Breaffy tidy up. So it's error strewn at the moment. The referee says a free for Breaffy, and there's a bit of dissatisfaction in the Claremorris ranks. You felt, John, you might have got a free the other end.
Maybe not that one, but definitely the one there on James Shaughnessy. I think he was going down to the ball to pick that ball up, and I think one of the Breaffy players came in and caught him with a stray boot. So free in there, but Claremorris should have had a free up here.
Okay, it's a lot of mistakes, Mickey.
Yeah, power mistakes, but look at the conditions down there. Sorry for us to say it up here in the stand. Conditions down there are tough. The ball is slipping all over the place, it's very wet and underfoot conditions, so it's going to be a case who makes the least mistakes is probably going to win this game.
Yep, and Breaffy have the 1 point advantage, 9-1-5, and a free for them. We have just over nearly 6 minutes gone here in the second half.
Yeah, I think it's evident in the second half that the pace has been lifted a bit. Both teams are going for the ball hard. There's a lot more passion in the play. I think they've both had a good talking to maybe at half time. Claremorris, from a more positive point of view, probably we haven't. We're still in it.
Nothing in that for Breaffy either. From a similar opportunity in the first half. Claremorris conjured up a very well taken goal. There's a sub coming on for Claremorris.
Yeah, Colin Gill, I suppose he had a bit of a hamstring problems there over the last number of months. Picked up that in the original injury against Aghamore in the under-21 final last December. But a great player to bring on in these kind of conditions. Picks up a lot of breaks. Ryan Quirk just gone off the field.
Yep, Ryan Quirk the man to make way for Colin Gill. Good tackling by Breaffy. They'll be hoping for something. No referee. Ronan Gordon gives this free to Claremorris, and we're under a lot of pressure there, but they've managed to get free if they do. And again, just not securing the ball well enough there. Trying to sort of pick nearly instead of securing it first.
Yeah, Colin Gill here breaking forward. He has that kind of a tendency. Great ball inside to Stephen McGrail, just kind of broke off him. You can see that there, that running game that Claremorris are trying to bring into the second half.
Yep, trying to bring their natural game, as John says. Young Claremorris team, 9-1-5. They have done well so far. Breaffy 12-1 on in the bookies today, having demolished Ballahadreen last weekend. Long ball in, but Stephen Brennan is out early. Back to Aidan Butler, former Mayo minor. Father, of course, was a famous Davids footballer many years ago. And a good ball from Alvin MacHale out to David Egan. And he's trying to make some ground. It's high in towards Conor Diskin. But it's just not very coherent right now. A lot of mistakes, ball travelling beyond where it should go, and neither side really getting their hands on this. We'll just watch this play develop for a moment. Aidan gets his hands on it in front of the other Aidan. The two captains clashing, Aidan Butler versus Aidan O'Shea, and Aidan O'Shea gets the free and a chance for Breaffy to go 2 up.
Yeah, I was just going to say, just before that, it seemed, there was just a lot of long ball, aimless ball from both teams going in. Not the best spectacle to watch, but that was a better ball into Aidan O'Shea. I think he was putting the head down ready to make a run, and he got the free.
Yeah, I think both teams were kicking 2 long balls in over the kind of 2 big turnovers there. Claremorris on one side and Breaffy the other. Just took the likes of Aidan O'Shea there, his experience and his big game know-how, you know what I mean, just to win the ball, win the free. And if Conor O'Shea gets this, it'll be just Comoes and Breaffy.
Yep, Conor coming on the right foot on this occasion. Straight and true, 10 points to 1 goal and 5 in this Elverys, this Treanlaur Catering Mayo Senior Football Championship quarter final, and we have almost 10 minutes gone here in the second half, and Claremorris 2 points adrift, 10-1-5.
Just a note there, Liam. In the age of all the short kickouts, I think nearly everybody's gone long tonight. There's damn all short kickouts going ahead, considering you have 2 very good goalies out there in Robbie Hindley and Alvin MacHale. They all going long, which is interesting.
Yeah, there could be a shift taking place. David Egan, he's strong, still carrying. Gives it across to James Shaughnessy is the one who gets on it eventually. And he is coming around, hoping to get a kick off. Gets the kick off. Oh, just didn't get there.
Yeah, he was on the loop there, James Shaughnessy. He just kind of tailed out at the left-hand post. I see Lee Merwin just about to come on the field.
Yeah, we can just see Lee Merwin now is just about to enter the field, and I think it's something that the Breaffy attack really needs. So not sure yet who's about to exit from the play, but Liam is deadly, like he's known as the bear in the square, and we could really do with him today, because I think we're under a lot of pressure. Who's Eddie Conroy's coming off? Yeah, so we noted that Eddie had done a lot of running in the first half, and maybe he doesn't have the legs to keep going like he did.
Yeah, and Tommy Riley has come out the field. Lee Merwin is going inside in a bear in the square role, as Nuala says.
Yeah, the bear in the square. I think he applied his trade this summer in New York, where he had a great time playing with the Mayo club, and we'll see what's the fitness like from drinking downtown Manhattan.
So Lee Merwin, great Mayo minor under 21, of course, All-Ireland winner of both grades and scorer of some famous goals in Mayo GAA history. Can he do something for Breaffy here? They're 2 down, 10-1-5. They are far from conclusive, though they have been probably marginally the better team overall. Claremorris trying to get back into it all the time. Here they are. This is one for Shocks. He's been dangerous. Shouts on sight. Another wide, not like him.
Now 2 bad wides there in the last couple. I suppose the first one was quite a difficult one, but that one there possibly should have nailed it. But Claremorris wasting a couple of opportunities now. I suppose a game of such fine margins, conditions, Claremorris really need to be nailing those scores.
Yes, and given that they're probably operating off less possession than Breaffy, those misses could prove costly, but a long way to go. It is 10 points to 1-5. Anything could happen here yet. Into Connor. Connor turns around, getting onto the left boot. Yeah, great score, Mickey.
Yeah, look, that's the difference, boys. Jane Shotton sees after having two wides there that he won't be happy with when he has a look at it. But the difference is Conor O'Shea coming in and the county standard, left foot over the bar, and just that more clinically when they get up there.
Yep, great score by Conor O'Shea. Gives it a 3-point lead for Breaffy now. 11 to 1-5. Claremorris not really building on that goal they got, but it has kept them in with the smell of it, but just not doing enough. Here he is, his first touch. Lee Merwin. Oh, great pass to Conor O'Shea. Oh, good tackling. Not good enough. Nicky Pilbrow gets pulled. Would you have given it, Mickey?
Yeah, I think that was definitely a free. But Aidan O'Shea is having a more influence on the game. He was involved in Conor O'Shea's last score. He sucked in a couple of bodies there and into Lee Merwin. Quick exchange of hands, and Conor O'Shea won the free. So another tap over.
Yeah, I think, I suppose maybe the management were listening to us at half-time. I'm sure that's what they tune into, to get some inspiration. But yeah, Aidan seems to be on a lot more of the ball, and it's making a big difference for Breaffy. Great to see Liam, his first touch was, just a hand pass, but it was a quick pass, and it set up this free nicely, hopefully for Conor to pop over.
Conor has been very much the main man up front for Breaffy this evening, and makes no mistake there either. Another point for Conor O'Shea.
Yeah, I think that's Conor's 5th point. I'm not great at keeping the score, actually. Somebody might be more accurate than
John Brennan is trained in that regard. He'll have it in a moment for us. Mickey Conroy is a fair statistician as well, but they're all scrambling for the notes here at the moment. But I think it's 5 as well. Conor's tally. Mickey Conroy confidently says 5.
The lads. Yeah.
5. It's 5 for Conor. It's 5 for Conor. And Claremorris have Matthew Mackin ready to come into the game.
Yeah, just a player just out of minor as well, a young lad as well, only getting into his under 21 ranks this year. So you can just see the difference between both players, or both sets of teams. That Breaffy rather have that real power and physicality, and you see Claremorris bringing on a couple of young lads. It's difficult to contend or to compete with those kind of players around the middle of the field, the likes of Aidan O'Shea's, the likes of your Gary Welch's.
I suppose the next 5 or 6 minutes are very important for Claremorris to stay in it. Breaffy have gone 4 ahead, and they're going to need a score to keep them in the game, or else you find what Breaffy do to a lot of teams. They extend it to 5 to 6, and it's very hard to get back from it.
Chance for Claremorris to build something now. A free which has been brought forward by 10 yards into Shocks again. Oh, good work by Colm Dravins, on the double by Colm Dravins, and he snuffed out James Shocksy that time.
Yeah, really good tackle by Colm Dravins, and Conor, a bit more clumsy in his tackle. But yeah, Claremorris are back in possession.
Yes, Stephen Brennan gets it to Ronan Finn, I think it is. Back to Stephen Brennan. He's a long way from home up here, the cornerback. Getting kind of venturesome as well, wondering will he have a run across the goal, but they work it back out again. This is David Egan, puts it across, breaks inside. Oh, well taken inside. And James McCormick pops up there. He has been up and down the field a bit. A vital score.
Yeah, I suppose it was a great point just to get them a little bit of injection into the game again. Matthew Mackin just coming on the field here now, but that score, I know it reduces the gap to 3 points, but as Mickey said there, Breaffy have that tendency to stretch the lead that little bit more. Claremorris, obviously now they're staying in the game. Stephen McGrail out for Matthew Mackin.
Yeah, Matthew Mackin in, Stephen McGrail the one to make way. 12 points to 1 goal and 6. And Claremorris trying to stay in the game. Breaffy have the lion's share of possession, but it is still something there for Claremorris perhaps. So good ball inside to Lee Merwin. He likes it. Oh, lovely ball across as well. And this is great move by Breaffy. Great save by MacHale. I think it was Robert Fadden, was it?
Yeah, I think that was Robbie who took it again. Real unselfish play by Lee Merwin. Often you see when a sub comes on, maybe they want to prove themselves, but 2 great hand passes he's laid off. Just very unlucky there by Robbie, or great save.
Yeah, great save by Alvin MacHale, but Breaffy will have to say that they had 3 goal chances here this evening so far and took none of them. And this is why I suppose Claremorris are still in the game.
Yeah, exactly. We're really lacking that kind of clinical finish up front, and just very unlucky, I suppose, in a few of them. Hopefully, take your points and the goals will follow. Hopefully they'll start to come now. Yes. So Alvin MacHale, the hero there for Claremorris, a stray pass. And Ronan Finn, Claremorris, are they beginning to show something now?
Maybe they sense something. It's a free, yes. And this is a chance for Claremorris to go back to within 2 if they can nail this. Mick, is there a revolution underway?
I don't know. Look at a great chance there to bring it back to 2. But Breaffy would be very disappointed with the 3 goal chances they had. That one there is their latest one. You know, he probably could have gone low into the corner. But there's a couple of great exchange, a hand pass and a beautiful kick pass into the bear in the square. He made the space. And look, it's going to be back to 2 now. And as I said, the next 5 or 6 minutes were very important. And Claremorris have got a score, great chance of getting another score. And we're back to 2 and saw to play for going down the stretch.
Okay, Claremorris or Castlemar Mitchell's already beaten Knockmore are out of this year's championship. So it's James McCormick that's down, I think, yes, and he got that very neat point a few moments ago, and not a man Claremorris would want to see leaving the action. He's still getting treatment, and meanwhile James Shaughnessy hops the ball. We're in the 18th minute of the second half. James Shaughnessy, the free taker, trying to maintain his concentration as the treatment is for James McCormick, and Claremorris will be hoping to nail this one, get back to 2 points then. It's 12-16, and hopefully James McCormick is okay. And
seems to be sitting up now. He's moving about a bit. Yeah.
Yep, he's back up again. So to his left, James Shaughnessy is lining up the free, and James, you'd put your money on him. James Shaughnessy, one of the more reliable free takers around the place. Nails it, says John Brennan. 1 goal and 7 for Claremorris. 12 points for Breaffy. That's 2 in a row from Claremorris, from McCormick and from Shaughnessy there. But they're also living off the fact that Breaffy missed that goal chance to make it. It's giving them a lift.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what I mean, as I said, James Shaughnessy, those 2 missed chances that he had, if they went over, we'd have a really, really tight game. But look, it's still odd to play for 2 points in it, and it's just show who's going to show the composure, as I said, going into the last 10 minutes, who's going to win it.
James Minogue again coming up the field. Breaffy looking to create something. The tireless worker that is Robert Fadden, and they are Tommy Riley turns, puts it up high. They're saying wide. I thought it got a touch. It did get a touch. It's a 50. It's a 45, and it's Robbie is making his way.
Robbie's getting his weekly exercises run up to the 45, so you know, he's a great record with 45s. Lee Merwin is also lining up for it. Oh, he's sending Robbie back.
Oh, hold on. Bear in the Square says, I own this precinct up here now. They're the new kid in town.
Yeah, the Bear in the Square is taking over from Robbie. I thought he was getting up there. He's a lot of probably carbs taken the last couple of days. I thought he was going to burn them off on that run, but obviously not.
So Lee Merwin, he's put pressure on himself by claiming this one, but
we don't mind.
We've seen him cope with pressure before. Oh, maybe it might be a goal chance. Conor O'Shea. Oh,
I saw them practice that set play in training. All right.
This is Tommy Riley trying to work something, trying to get into some sort of a shooting position. And Breaffy again. Aidan to Alvin Callig from Gary Welch. Another goal chance of sorts. Alvin is hurt. He did well there, Michael, though. He's done well this evening.
Save, absolutely great save, yeah. You know, I suppose it's just a miscue from the Bear in the Square. He used to practice them on the carpet in downtown Manhattan. They don't have grass in the Bronx,
Gaelic Park.
The Bronx, in the Gaelic Park. You know, so maybe that's the reason. Maybe Robbie should have come and hit it.
Okay.
And Robbie has come down now to claim his territory, and he's taken this one.
Normal service resumed. Yeah, hello. We want to say hello again to Shane Halligan in Nerja in Spain, and to Catherine Sweeney, and they want a double request this evening, I think.
Yeah, my own sister Sandra actually is watching this at home. She's watching at home with Caitlin and baby Robin, so I will give them a shout out as well, or I'll be killed.
Yeah. Mickey, you have a few fans too.
Yeah, no, fair play to Shane Halligan. Congrats to him. I see he's got engaged there out there.
Hey, leave it out. Leave it out. We can't confirm it.
From Mayo GAA TV, I'd like to wish him well.
Oh, easy now, easy. That guy works with me. Be careful. Robbie inside, but didn't work for him either. And I suppose just more evidence of Breaffy, who look to be the better team, just not nailing the point. John, you're staying in it.
Yeah, Breaffy now, they're not being clinical, and them 3 goal chances that they created over the space of the 50 minutes, like Claremorris, it's really eating into Claremorris now. They are staying in the game with about 9 minutes to go of normal time. Johnny Mulkeen will be very, very happy in this situation. Claremorris definitely, one thing that they won't run out of in the closing stages, they won't run out of gas.
Okay, well, let's see what they've got up front now.
Well, I see Garrett Dunn is warming up there.
Garrett Dunn warming up. Here come Claremorris now. And that's Conor Diskin, I think, is it?
Yeah, Conor Diskin with his left peg. Great score. Back to 1 now. It's going to be a really tense and last 5-6 minutes.
Yeah, back to 1. And back to 1. This is a big development for Claremorris because scores are hard to come by. And 3 in a row, as John says, from Claremorris. Breaffy had loads of chances, goal chances, half-goal chances, but it's Claremorris who are driving at Breaffy, and inside to, they're really working inside to McCormick, I think it is. Back out again, and across to Matthew Mackin, I think it is.
Great score. That's so
Matthew Mackin?
Matthew Mackin, yeah, with a great point. It's so vitally important for them to get back level now. Peter Ford obviously rolling, and a couple of players off the bench there, number 25. I'm not sure who that is coming on the field.
Garrett Dunn coming on for Breaffy. We have ourselves a game here. We're in the closing stages here at Elverys MacHale Park. We have 27 and a half minutes to go here, and Claremorris have drawn level, 1 goal and 9 to 12 points. Breaffy ruining some of those missed chances, those big goal chances they had. Alvin MacHale doing really well for Claremorris. That's a foul, and Claremorris giving Breaffy a platform now. Breaffy coming again, and it's Garrett Dunn, the sub, his first touch, but straight at Alvin MacHale. There might have been claims for a free, was there? Was he clipped? Does he kick? Yeah, we're going to ask Mike to adjudicate that in a moment. We might even see that on the replay, but there was Mickey, you thought that was a free?
Yeah, I thought it could have been free and just to pull at the jersey there, but look at it, it wasn't, I suppose. And Claremorris are right in this game. It's going to be interesting the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, we're going to see, I think, Matthew Mackin's equalising point. We're pretty sure it was Matthew Mackin. Those Claremorris numbers actually not very distinct on the back. We think it was Matthew Mackin who got the point. It was a crucial score anyway for Claremorris. It levels the game here as we enter the final 5 minutes. 12 for Breaffy, 1-9 for Claremorris. And Claremorris come on the attack again. We'll stay with the play. Claremorris on the attack again. Ronan Finn being heavily tackled. Oh, good win there. That's a free in. A great win there. Oh, bit of retaliation. Might lose the free.
And I think Ronan Gurns is going to stick with it. I think the one thing I mentioned there about 2 minutes ago, the thing that Claremorris, they're definitely run out of juice. They have a lot of young players, a lot of experience with county titles at minor, under 21, under 16. They're definitely not going to run out of juice.
Okay, thanks, John. We're going to go back for James Shockley's kick. James puts it up high. No, you can see by Robbie's body language, it's tailing off to his left, and no increase in Claremorris tally. 12 points to 1 goal and 9. There's a Breaffy man down on his own 21-yard line. The equalising score we're going to see now. The equalising score from Claremorris, and straight through the middle, and that really is a tonic for Claremorris. They've been hanging in, it has to be said, and Breaffy trying to hang on now.
Yeah, I think, time is running out for Breaffy, and they really need to start putting the ball over the bar. The stop-start nature of the game, I suppose, isn't helping them develop play either.
We have a replay, I take it, at this stage of the championship. There's no special injunction to go for extra time, is there?
I think the format that was brought in, if any quarter-final went to, I think it was a midweek game, I think, from what I could gather on a Wednesday night.
Replay.
Yeah, that's from what I can gather.
Okay, there's a round of applause for Mikey Higgins coming on. That's Jason Takos going off. He's done well. He got the goal, of course. Big jump by McCormick, but the Breaffy guys converge, and Conor O'Shea is out there from corner forward to win it. They have inside Liam Irwin, who's looking for it, and Conor still carrying, using the power of many inter-county seasons, and they are not able to make any progress there. It's Claremorris who will have the free. The referee is calling over somebody, I think. He's telling players to hold on. I'm not sure who he's calling. Yeah, he's going speaking to Rory Martin, I think. Rory Martin Rory doesn't have a yellow earlier. No, James Minogue has a yellow from earlier on, alright. And it's a sideline ball for Claremorris, back to the keeper, Alvin MacHale. As Horace Regan said one day in NUIG when it was UCG, I hope it works out for you. It did work out there. And Aidan Butler, good work by Claremorris. This is very good. Oh, just spilled by McCormack. And Aidan O'Shea gets it, a chance to tidy it up. O'Shea fouled and takes it quickly out to Irwin. Irwin, right-footed kick. That's right and wide.
Yeah, that's very disappointing kick from Liam now. He'd usually fancy himself to put those over, but that one went wide.
So 12 points to 1 goal and 9. You can hear the crowd's roars behind. We are in the 28th minute of the second half. Claremorris unfancied beforehand, almost unloved beforehand. The bookies said there were 12-1 outsiders. Here they are taking the game to Claremorris, taking the game to Breaffy. Matthew Mackin, he's made a difference since coming on. A strong young man just out of minor. And that's Colin Gill, wheels away. We talked about it before, Mickey. When he kicked it, he knew it was over.
Absolutely, yeah, turn and gone. You know what I mean? It's interesting 2 or 3 minutes now. If Breaffy can get back level, that's what they're going to have to. The best they can probably look for is a draw, unless they get a couple of chances, but I don't think they're there.
Yeah, Colin Gill, the Claremorris bench, has done well this evening. Has got a bit out of that. Matthew Mackin as well has brought the game to Breaffy.
They have the legs, Liam. That's so important in a game down the last 5 minutes. Underfoot conditions here. Aidan Shea with a great.
Aidan with a mark. He plays it on. The referee's bringing them back for advantage. Breaffy are one adrift, 110 to 12 points. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that at this advanced stage, 28 minutes gone in the second half, that Breaffy would be fighting for their survival in the Treanlaur Catering Mayo Senior Football Championship? Can they dig it out? They have some very accomplished forwards. Well taken by Aidan Butler. It was aiming for Liam Irwin, but it didn't get there. And Claremorris are the ones playing the football now, coming out of defence with a lot of composure, a lot of confidence, working it out here to Nicky Pilbrow. And they have players, Stephen Brennan now, they have players really anxious to get on the ball, Claremorris. They really want to take it to them. They've fouled here though, and a free out for Breaffy. It's Breaffy 1 point adrift. If you've just joined us, 1 point adrift, 110 to 12 points. Dying moments here. It's going to be a hot ball from Ronan Gurran. In a battle now, Nuala.
Yeah, definitely in a battle, and you can feel the tension all around the place. Presumably Aidan O'Shea will come down for this hot ball. Garrett Dunn, that pass there, suicide pass to him, he couldn't but win it, so lots of bodies going in, so I think a hot ball was the fairest result. We're
going to see that Colin Gill point again now while we're waiting for play to restart, and he kicked it beautifully, and as we said, Mickey and I said, he wheeled away knowing he had done it, knowing it was accurate, knowing it was over, and that was a great boost for Claremorris. A confident kick like that, Mickey, can really run through a team.
Yeah, absolutely, and they've taken great confidence from 4 down to get a point up. They've done really well, but Breaffy on the attack here. I wonder, can they get an equaliser? Claremorris turned over.
Claremorris turned it over, and they get a free. They just need to stay composed now. It's getting a very hot and heavy, as you can appreciate. Breaffy felt there was a foul. The referee may have been unsighted, I think, for the first time.
Definitely, yeah. But the one thing now for Claremorris, there's a bit of inexperience now in the last 2 or 3 minutes. A lot of Breaffy players have a lot of inter-county experience. Can Claremorris close out the game? That's more important now. They need to get 2 scores. They cannot rely on that 1 point from Colin Gill. They need to stretch the lead to 2. They need to stretch it to 3, because that 1 point is not going to get them over the line.
We are gone into injury time. And Claremorris are leading, and James Shaughnessy, a man we'd love to speak to afterwards, given his contribution here this evening, and Matthew Mackin as well has been very important. This Claremorris forward line has come alive in the last few minutes. Can they close it out, is John Brennan's question, and I'm sure Nola is wondering, can Breaffy get something back, because they are one adrift. James Shaughnessy, a lot of steps, gets away with them though, and big hit on Matthew Mackin, brings it into the traffic, as they say, and Breaffy have a chance to tidy, and tidy they do. Jerry Jennings, it's a free out for Breaffy. They are 39 seconds into injury time. It is Breaffy's perhaps last chance, although we did have some injuries. Maybe a few minutes to go. Did anybody see a clock? No, nothing up from the linesman yet. Not sure if there's one this evening. There should be, I think. Here come Breaffy again. Dravens, long inside, but taken by Stephen Brennan or Nicky Pilbrow, both bearded, and Claremorris come again. This is good work by Claremorris again. They are quite accomplished at taking ball out of their defence. Famous last words by me, it's a Breaffy free.
You need to keep going with that commentator's curse. Breaffy could do with all the help at this stage.
That's the experience there now. Claremorris haven't been in this situation. Breaffy now trying to push for that vital score that'll get them back on level terms.
We know who we are, Mickey. It's all about Breaffy trying to conjure up a point now.
Absolutely, yeah. Breaffy will be just looking for the draw here, and they'll be delighted to get out with a draw if they do. To be honest, Claremorris have showed massive resilience since they went 4 down to go a point up. They got the last 5 scores in a row. They were brilliant. Whether they can get the equaliser or not now, I don't know. Time will tell. Aidan O'Shea on the ball in midfield.
Yeah, an experienced man. What can he work? We have on the clock 31:49. I think on the clock, and it's Breaffy in possession. Aidan O'Shea, middle of the field. Claremorris defence is held very firm. Oh, there's a man down inside, a Breaffy man. No free though. Everything is the stakes are so heightened here, but it falls to McCormack, and here comes Claremorris again. That's I think it's David Riley, and again they lose it. Great work by Breaffy. They are not letting this go easily, working so hard to get ball back. James Shaughnessy came but missed. Inside to, is it Garrett Dunn? To cross goal, too far. Who put it across, Nuala?
I'm not sure who put it across there, but there's just a cacophony of errors in that Breaffy defence. I think somebody else thought someone else was going to jump for it, and they're just completely disorganised up front.
They were queuing up there, Mickey.
Yeah, absolutely. John Brennan's calling this the shock of the year. It might be just a bit too early, but they were queuing up for it. Probably should have taken a bit more experienced player. Would he just chipped over the bar and taken the draw? But
you know who put it across?
I think it was the bear in the square. It was one of them guys.
It's all over. Claremorris have beaten Breaffy in the shock of the Mayo Senior Football Championship. John Brennan called it the shock of the decade, was it? Shock of the year. It's an amazing shock. There were 12 to 1 outsiders coming in here. 1 goal and 10 for Claremorris. 12 points for Breaffy. Breaffy are out of the Treanlaur Catering Mayo Senior Football Championship, and that's it. It's all over. Nuala, an incredible defeat. They controlled so much of it.
Yeah, I suppose they had the possession, but where it counted up front, goals win games, and Claremorris got the goal, and Breaffy had 3 or 4 chances that they just fluffed. They'll be really disappointed with that, but good luck to Claremorris going forward. They were the team on the day. They were dogged, they worked hard, they put the ball, they passed it really nicely, they took their chances. Yeah, they had a few wides, but they were far more clinical with the limited possession they had, and Breaffy will be really disappointed with that, but they just weren't good enough today.
This will give incredible hope to lots of teams in the senior championship, because we were saying earlier on, Mickey, that Mitchell's not flying it at the moment. They got through Knockmore, and obviously they're still the team to beat, and people thought maybe Breaffy might be ones to slip in, but they're gone.
Yeah, look, it is a massive shock, but Claremorris, huge credit to Claremorris. They were brilliant. When they went 4 down, there was a couple of heightened minutes there from the 15th minute, I suppose, to the 26th, where they could have kicked on, and the couple of goal chances will probably come back to cost them, and it definitely has. Claremorris were very, very resilient, very, very fit, well schooled there today. Conditions, I suppose, probably did suit them. Their ball handling, on both sides was a bit off, but look at it, it's a fantastic win, and Claremorris developed, as regards their development, this is huge for them with their new trainer Ray Kennelly this year, and their new manager and backroom staff. This is a fantastic win for them.
Huge, John.
Oh, you couldn't describe how much that means to that group, and coming into this game, a lot of players won under 14, under 16, minor, under 21 county titles, and really haven't done it on the biggest stage of all in senior championship, and that it's so important for the club that the likes of Claremorris now, another team on the mark. Breaffy now, that's the second year in a row now that they've really fell at the penultimate hurdle of the Mayo Senior Football Championship. You want to get...
Yeah, it's like just get the Claremorris team coming off there, John. They're getting a great round of applause from their supporters. They have certainly made Claremorris people all over the world watching this evening very happy. People wondered always, when will Claremorris come? They've been under 21 champions, minor champions. But I did see something earlier on this year. They beat Mitchells in the league earlier on this year, and there were some good signs. Mickey and I wondered had they tapered off, but they left something for this evening. Yeah,
they had a really good start to the league. They beat Offmore in the first round of the league, only lost to Breaffy by 2 points, and as you mentioned there, they beat Castlebar in the league in town. So they were building steadily over the last couple of weeks. Okay, they had a lull period in the Mara Cup, and I know they won the Mara Cup against Hollymount-Carramore in the final over in Ballintubber, but it was so important for their development. As I mentioned before at the start of the game, 4 of the starting 6 forwards under 21. to win a game like this against a team like Breaffy, and that in many people's eyes were the favourites for the county championship after their performances over the last number of weeks. It was so important for them to get this win, and now the next step for Claremorris now, can they make the next step? That's that's the big question for them now. They cannot just rest on this performance against Breaffy. They need to make it to the next level.
Okay, well, I see James Shaughnessy and Stephen Brennan coming up here, and well, lads, you've blown the Mayo Senior Football Championship wide open. Come in here beside me, James, and Stephen as well. Come in here, James. You fought really hard for that one, James. You had to dig it out. The goal in the first half helped you. You missed a few chances in the second half. You, very uncharacteristically, it must be said, but you kept at it.
Yeah, I suppose we've changed a lot of things this year. You know, Claremorris over the years were renowned as kind of underachievers, but we got the chance this year to get back at the big table, and we wanted to get a good crack at Breaffy, and you know, we just kept plugging. There was games all year that we were maybe 1 or 2 points down. We shouldn't have been in the games at all. We ended up getting results, and today is another prime example. Breaffy could have been 2-4 to a point up there after maybe 10-15 minutes, but we just have the belief. There's such a self-belief there at the moment. We're just all down to Johnny Mulkeen. He's done a serious job. He's got the right people in, you know, Ray, Niall, all the backroom team. You know, we just really started to get a big push back to the big table. I think it's 9 years since we were in a county semi-final, and by God, we're looking forward to it next week now.
Well done, Stephen. Back at the back, it was a matter of holding on a few times. They created, we reckon, 3 clear-cut goal chances, but you stuck at it. Alvin did great work in goal, yeah, and you shut them down eventually. They went a long period without scoring.
Yeah, like, to be fair now, we got a few lucky breaks, but we got a young lads, and we just bounced back from like each of their attacks, and I don't know, like, it was all about, like you said, holding on and crowding out. Like, you know, they got a few purple patches during the game, and we knew at the back, like, all we had to do was keep them quiet, and then we'll get our chance. And we got our chance, and the boys took it then up front. They got the scores when we needed them, and the few boys that came on, like, made a huge difference. Colin Gill, back from injury there, came on. He made a big difference, and like a lot of lads chased and tackled us, he gave everything on the pitch. Yeah, so we're really looking forward to next week now. Yeah.
You got a lot from the bench, James.
Yeah, we did. I suppose, like, we've had big numbers this year, which has been usually last year. You know, we might have only had 16, 17. This year we have 30 odd there on the bench, and the bench really made a big thing. Like Colin, you know, and all the rest of the lads come. You know, my head is fried there. I can't think who come in, but just
Matthew
Mackin made a great run up to the middle of the pitch there. You know, just the fitness level is so high, and the lads that come in, they made such a difference. Like Colin kicked the winner in the end. Like, you know, it was a long time out from the finish, but we'll take it.
Okay, final one for you, Stephen. You've come through the Claremorris underage nursery. This looks like a major turning point.
Yeah, like, you know, it's like over the last few years, I don't know how many underage county finals we've all competed in, like, you know, and we've won a few ourselves, like under 21 minors, under 16s, and, like, you know, we really feel like now is our chance to push on and show our mark at senior level and show the county what we can do. Like, we've got some serious players that have been, yeah, like you said, going through the nursery the last few years, and they're ready for action now, ready for the next day.
Okay, well, lads, well, you're still in the championship. Thank you very much to James and to Stephen Brennan as well. I'm going to bring in Johnny Mulkeen here. Johnny, you can stand up here, please. Your first year as senior manager, you were junior manager there for a few years. You built up a great rapport and bond with your players.
You start at the bottom.
Yeah, well, you're literally at the top of the stand, but you're the top of the pile this evening.
Yeah, thank God. Yeah, look at, we've worked hard for it. The bookies got that one way wrong, so they did. But fair play to them. It was great motivation for us.
Were you 12-1 on?
10-1 was what I heard. We were 6-1, like, you know what I mean. So, you know, look at.
Sorry, you were 12-1, I said.
Yeah. But look at, it's down to hard work with the lads, the team, the management team, Ray, Niall, Noel, Billy, Kieran, Finn. You know, the work that they've done behind the scenes is savage. Like, you know, it's been a long road, like, you know. But look at, we've not won yet. We're into a semi-final, first time in I don't know how many years, and we just look forward to that now, and that's it.
It was an evening of living dangerously for a while. They were creating goal chances. Alvin made some great saves. Yeah, you had to hang in quite a bit.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to ride your luck, and thank God we had it this evening, and it was great to hold out. Look at they had three great goal chances. Alvin pulled off a couple of good saves. They hit the side net in the first half. You know, they could have we rode our luck, but it worked. You know, but the luck was with us tonight, and thank God. But look at, the lads knew the vibe of training was very good all week. We learned a lot from the Ballintubber game last week. We've been building like we've only been beaten 4 times this year. could go back a couple of years and we mightn't have even won 4 games. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, but we're building slowly but surely. There's a lot of young lads there that have under 21 and minor titles, and to try and get and mix them with the older lads, and thank God it's working so well so far. But look, as I say, tonight's tonight. We're only in a semi-final, and please God we can do something after that, you know.
You got a lot off your bench. Your subs came in with a big impact.
Yeah, but look at. That's what we've been saying to the lads all the time. You know, you mightn't be in the starting 15, but you could make the difference when you come in. And that has happened tonight, and it happened in numerous games where the lads coming in made the difference. And that's the way the game has gone. It's a 21-man game, you know. So we have the bench now that we didn't have in years. There's some lads there tonight that didn't get a run and mightn't have got a run in the championship yet this year, but their part in this is vital as well, because they're pushing the lads all the way, and that's what it's all about, you know.
Okay, Johnny, well done. I know you said you've nothing won yet, but you certainly have struck a blow for Claremorris football this evening. Well done. Thank you very much, Johnny Mulkeen, the manager. I'm going to get a final word from you, Nuala. You did very sportingly and accurately say all the way through before the game, Claremorris are a serious team.
Yeah, look at, you know, I wasn't surprised by the Claremorris performance. I've seen them earlier in the year, you know, when they played Breaffy in the league, and they looked like a very good team. We were lucky to come out on the right side that day, and you know, like, they do have a lot of talent. You know, I hadn't realised actually until this evening how many underage titles they had won, but you know, I did know the players they've had who've been minor, under 21. So you know, even though they mightn't have as many big names as such, you know, they do have a lot of talent. And I suppose it was obvious out there tonight too. Breaffy were lacking leadership, and Seamus O'Shea is a great leader, and even on the Mayo scene, you know, he's kind of one of the unsung heroes. But I suppose as Breaffy people, we notice when he comes off in a Mayo match, you know, often teams have a much easier path through the middle, and that was evident today. So you know, they wouldn't have been planning to be without Seamus, to be without MacHale Hall. It wasn't the full strength Breaffy team, but the team that was out there, you know, I was still confident that they could win, and I think that they'll be as disappointed as I am this evening.
Okay, Nuala, thank you very much for once again representing Breaffy. Sorry it's not a better result for you. John, we're going to hand over in a moment to Tom Kearney and Aidan Campbell and Jackie Heenan, but before we do that, a final word from you, John, to the victor of the spoil is this evening.
That's right, Liam, and it's as I mentioned earlier, and kind of Johnny touched on it there. No medals or trophies are handed out this evening. It's a win in their development, and it's so important for them. Okay, Breaffy are knocked out of the senior championship tonight. Claremorris will go into the draw now Sunday evening with a bit of confidence, with a bit of belief that Breaffy, in many people's eyes, is one of the favourites. So for us to go out and knock them out of the championship, a lot of the 3 teams in the mix with us will be saying we have to take these boys serious. And Claremorris now missing James Stretton, I know Nuala touched on it there. Seamus O'Shea would have been a huge loss for them around the middle of the field, his experience and his know-how in a big game like that. But for Claremorris, it's so huge in their development. Stephen and James touched on it as well. They've had so many titles down through the years underage, and were they the so-called underachievers in Mayo circles at Mayo football. So for them to win this game tonight, so important and so vital.
Okay, John, thank you very much. I'm going to call in Jackie Heenan and Aidan Campbell. We'll get a quick look at the two boys. You mightn't have seen them for a few years. Jackie, I think, has finally retired from playing with Ballintubber. Please confirm you have retired, Jackie.
Haven't officially announced it as yet, but if you're free on Thursday night for a five-a-side, we're available.
And Aidan Campbell, of course, you're a Mayo over 40s footballer, representing Hollymount-Carramore this evening, and big game for you. You get a boost from Claremorris, your nearest and dearest.
Well, I suppose if you come in and get big games like this, we're coming in as the underdog. Ballintubber have all experience the behaviour before. They've played in finals, won finals, semi-finals, quarter-finals. So ours is a young team, new team into this. It'll be strange for some of the lads, but I suppose that the advantage of playing the All-Ireland final 2 years ago, and that should stick to them coming to a game like this. You know what I mean? The big game experience. So.
Okay, well, we're going to hand over to match commentator Tom Kearney in a few moments as well. He'll be joined by Jackie and Aidan for the evening. Tom, a quick word with you. You follow your club football very carefully, and you watched that game very carefully this evening. Big win for Claremorris.
Massive win for Claremorris. I don't think many people had it on the cards. I think Claremorris were 6-1 for the win before the game started. I think
I had a 12-1 at one stage. Right? I'm not sure what I had really.
Well,
I'm not a betting man.
That could be just double the odds. But I think the big thing for me watching it was Claremorris played very much as a unit. They hunted in numbers. Breaffy were reliant on obviously their big game players. The loss of Seamus O'Shea and MacHale Hall maybe caused a bit of upset to the rhythm, but I think that's more to do with how Claremorris were set up. They were never allowed Breaffy to build up ahead of steam. I think a lot of credit has to go to John, to Ray and the management team for how they set them up. And obviously there's a Hollymount connection there for Claremorris with Ray Kennelly. And so it could be a double celebration.
Yes, indeed. Ray Kennelly, who played a county final with Hollymount-Carramore a few years ago here, lost to Ballyhonus. And we're going to hand over now to Tom and to Jackie and to Aidan to call the second game here in the Treanlaur Catering Mayo Senior Football Championship quarter final. We've had one shock. Hollymount-Carramore would be a second one, although they did beat Ballintubber in the early stages of last year's championship. Let's see how it's going to go. Over to you, Tom.
Thank you, Liam, and good evening to everyone. Here to Elverys MacHale Park for the second of our quarter-finals, as we said, Ballintubber versus Hollymount-Carramore. A couple of changes to the teams for Ballintubber. Cathal Hanlon, the fullback, is injured, so in comes Diarmuid O'Connor, where we understand he'll play potentially at wing back, with either Brian Murphy or Miles Kelly going to fullback. For Hollymount-Carramore, Louis Mackin drops to the bench and Ian Costello comes in for him, and we have the national anthem a good crowd here at Elverys MacHale Park for Ballintubber versus Hollymount-Carramore. Ballintubber looking to continue their journey in this year's Moncler Cup to try and get back to winning ways, having last won the competition in 2014. And Hollymount-Carramore, fresh from 2 years ago winning the intermediate championship and All-Ireland runners-up. And Aidan, you'd have to say that the players have big game experience, and they'll certainly need that today.
A lot of these lads has played, as I said, in Croke Park 2 years ago, and even that these lads here have played in junior finals. These Liam Cole, Larry Cohn, a lot of lads have played a lot of big games. So it'll take them a first couple of minutes to get into this game, just to get eased into the game will be crucial, because like Ballintubber have the experience, they've been there, been around the block before. As far as lads just get into the game easy at the start, just get Ballintubber don't get a run on us.
John Glavey throws up here at Elverys MacHale Park, and we're underway, and Ballintubber on the attack from the get-go with Alan Dillon, long-time servant for Ballintubber, All-Ireland winner with ball is recycled there, and it's going into mid with Jason Gibbons. Gibbons pushes it out wide out to Brian Murphy. As we said, Diarmuid O'Connor on from the start for the injured Cathal Hanlon. High ball delivered in early towards Killian O'Connor, but he can't quite win that. He's pushed off the ball, and the conditions, as mentioned in the previous game, are quite slippy underfoot here at Elverys MacHale Park. The evening is fine and dry, but it is quite cold high up in the bleachers here where we're positioned. So Hollymount on their first attack breaks down. Miles Kelly pops a little hand pass there to Danny Geraghty, the captain for Ballintubber, and Ballintubber build as is their style from the middle of the field and looking to get some early scores on the board. Alan Plunkett, nice little kick pass inside, gets it back. Thought about the shot, but tries to go out wide to open it up a small bit, but the ball is turned over by Hollymount. They're defending in numbers. They're playing with just two players in the Ballintubber half of the field at the moment. They're going to try and play on the counter, but they're turned over there well by Killian O'Connor for Ballintubber, and he's trying to engineer an opening to get a score, but he feeds it inside to Conor Finnerty, who swings his boot at that, and it's wide, the first wide of the game for Ballintubber. And Jackie, you have to say, at the early stages, Ballintubber are looking to go on the front foot.
Yeah, we're settling down pretty good at the moment. Just a lot of movement around the pitch. It's hard enough where some lads are actually playing at the moment, but for the first few moments, yeah, we're settling in, just a little bit edgy maybe on the ball, but we'll settle down, we're hoping, in a few moments.
In the modern game of Gaelic football, 1 to 15 doesn't mean anything anymore. You play where you're told, or you follow your man. So, as we said, there's a Hollymount route to this quarter-final, finishing second in their group. scoring 7:36 along the way, so they know where the goal is, they know where to get it over the black spot, and Ballintubber have themselves not been shy. They've scored 3:46 so far, so both teams have their shooting boots on. It could be a good high scoring game. It's a sideline ball in front of the media tower here at Elverys MacHale Park. Ball kicked away, well won back there for Hollymount-Carramore, and they're looking to counter attack again. Coming at pace is Pádraig Feerick, a member of that intermediate All-Ireland runners-up team in 2015, and a snapshot here from Conor Kane, but that's gone to the right and wide, so it's a wide apiece in the opening 3 minutes here at MacHale Park, and a bit of a wild shot there from Conor Kane. Optimistic.
Yeah, he needs to get in a bit closer to goal rather than hitting them shots some 40 or 50 yards out. They're just, the percentages are just too low. I know we'd only one man left inside, and the other three defenders, but even still, you need to work the ball around to just get our shooters in a better position than that.
Say hello to Jane O'Conquer, who's watching in Florida. Long way to watch Gaelic football. I'm sure it's slightly warmer in Florida than it is here in Castlebar this evening. So, getting back on the way. Good mark taken by Jason Gibbons. Gets it going very quickly to Diarmuid O'Connor. Diarmuid attracts two Hollymount defenders, shifts it out to the right hand side, so it's a shot from the right corner forward position, switched all the way over to his brother, to Cillian O'Connor, but couldn't quite win it, and Hollymount come away with the ball with Robert Malloy breaking out in the wing and giving it again to Pádraig Feerick, who's seen plenty of touches in the opening few minutes of this game, and Pádraig, with that languid style of his, gives it into Kevin. Early ball inside to Darren Cohen, and he comes out well, and he swings his right foot. It's going to drop short though, straight into the hands of Brendan Walsh, who gathers it eagerly and gets Ballintubber moving again. The other thing to notice there is Pádraig O'Connor, who was down in the programme to wear number 10, is actually wearing number 30, as there was a wardrobe malfunction, as we understand, but that pass, straight pass there, read well by Ian Costello, breaks up the play, and Hollymount are coming again. They're coming in numbers, and it's given into Conor Kane. Conor tries to feed a little ball around the corner, but didn't get there. But Darren has worked his magic, and he's get the ball back in hand, and he cuts back inside, and they're looking for help, and it's into this square, but covered well there by Ballintubber, and they come away with the ball, defending with three across the back and stifling the attack in the opening moments. And so it's a good, entertaining opening few minutes here at MacHale Park, and you'll have to say both teams seem to be fine, but again a stray pass from Ballintubber. Out comes Brendan Walsh with a sliding tackle and gets the ball back. So Ballintubber living slightly dangerously across their full back line, and Alan Dillon trying to calm it down, turns his man. Damien Coleman gives it inside to Danny Geraghty. Geraghty gives a hand pass to Pádraig O'Connor. Pádraig feeds inside to Cillian O'Connor. Cillian in front of the goal, has one look, swings his boot, and that's over the bar. A tremendous goal from Cillian O'Connor, starting from the slightly dangerous play from the Ballintubber full back line.
Yeah, we've been living on our edge at the back at the moment. A lot of simple mistakes. Ball seems to be very slippy, or is it at the surface? I'm not sure which, but lads are making very elementary mistakes.
Hollymount built from the back again. Good strength shown there by Hollymount. They're looking up for a support, but there's nobody coming, and Barry Sheridan has to go back, but the ball spills, but he finds it back into his hands again, and he releases early, this time into the hands of Feerick, and he turns his man again, and he's, as we said, that's his fourth or fifth touch this side, so he's seen as plenty of the ball in this opening half. Robert Malloy slips it inside to thing, and that's the equalising point, and that's a great score, great reply from Hollymount almost instantaneously.
Yes, we just needed that score there just to get us settled down, get into the game. We were up 10 minutes, possibly gone. Ballintubber getting a bit of run on us, but we've settled into it now, and I said it's just getting the ball in the right position, not to shooting from daft angles.
It seems the management for Hollymount have told them to press up high on the Ballintubber kick out and force the backs into making mistakes, and just before that point there was almost an opportunity for a goal.
Yes, Barry Sheridan has got on a lot of ball down here on the side as well, and I say if you we're sort of looking at not letting Jason Gibbons try to keep him out of the game. Actually, direct marker there, actually Ian Costello ran loose, he kicked that point, so it's trying to keep the big game players out of the Ballintubber, out of the game for Ballintubber.
Of course, the Ballintubber team would be well known to the Hollymount manager, Tony Duffy, and I'm sure he's his research and his old playbooks out. But Ballintubber turn over the ball in the Hollymount half the field, and Cillian O'Connor goes down under a strong challenge, so it'll be a free in a scoring range. But Mikey Conroy taking on a bit of protein and a bit of sugar there. We'll come to him shortly, but the blood sugars must be low. So it's going to be a free there for Ballintubber. Killian, in the all too familiar style to Mayo football supporters around the world. Felt it was a bit soft, Mickey?
No, not at all. I thought he did great work. You know what I mean? He chased down. He nearly got the misled hand pass from the Hollymount-Carramore player, but chased down the defender, got a big turnover in, got it back, and typical Kenny O'Connor won the free, and he's going to score.
As in typical fashion. No, yeah. It was a home banker. So
nearly commentator's curse. Killian O'Connor doesn't miss many of those.
So 2-1 Ballintubber lead in the Treanlaur Catering Mayo Senior Football Championship, live from Elverys MacHale Park on Mayo GAA TV. Ball goes out in the full over the sideline. Game restarted here by Alan Plunkett to Alan Dillon. His father Ollie sitting 3 or 4 rows just below us here. They work the space, they work the angle again, and that's a shot from Conor Finnerty, and that's a great finish for Ballintubber. Well worked score. Alan Dillon made the space, fed it to the free man over the black spot.
Yeah, the one thing you do notice this year that already Alan Dillon has left a big print on this game already. He seems to be involved. Everything that's good for Ballintubber is coming through Dillon.
Hollymount back on, slowly build again. Ball worked into midfield into Kevin Costello. Kevin looking to release play, and that's a good carry from Nathan Moran, the All-Ireland winning captain for the Ballintubber Community School team, who won the B Schools final, and that's a foul on the way. As we mentioned earlier, the Hollymount team have clearly had instructions to push up on the Ballintubber defenders as much as possible, and the turnover is out, so it'll be a free opportunity to try and cut it to a 1-point deficit. And Nathan Moran's had a very good year for Hollymount, a member of the Mayo team, but also the All-Ireland winning captain for the Ballintubber Community School team.
Yeah, this is his last. He came into the team probably around when that football season was over for the colleges, and he's actually getting into the games now a lot. He's a guy that has great ability between the 2 30-metre lines. If he gets on ball there, he really runs at teams. He can suck defenders in. It's just when he gets into that last position, good score there for us. That sort of. He's a good, really energetic player. He can get between the 2 30s, very fast, very quick. So we should be trying to get him on the ball as much as we can down that far side.
Ball punched over the bar by Brendan Walsh from a free, and it was I think he was just making certain that it didn't get into any danger.
Yeah, it was a good score though from Darren Cohen, but just a note early on that both teams are playing with a sweeper. Number 5 for Hollymount-Carramore, Barry Sheridan, and I think it's Damien Coleman or Michael Plunkett at number 6 for Ballintubber, but both teams at the same time are pushing up on the kick out, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes for both of them.
Snapshot from Conor Kane, hits the post into the large square. There's a chance of another score here for Hollymount. Twisting and turning, he gets inside the defender, swings left foot, but it's gone wide. But it was the referee had his arm up to play the advantage, so it'll be a free just on the 30-metre line, about 10 yards to the left. So it'll be an opportunity for Hollymount-Carramore to tie up the game for Kevin Plunkett, to Kevin Fearick, sorry. And no more than Killian O'Connor the other end. He wouldn't be known for missing too many of these.
No, not from that angle now. That's right on his left foot. I'd be expecting to pop this one over handy enough.
Ballintubber defence didn't react as quickly as they maybe should have.
No, we're a little bit slow at times. Hollymount-Carramore are actually playing the ball pretty well through the hands. They're breaking fast from around midfield, so they are catching us. Anytime they break fast, they are catching on the back foot.
Kevin pops that over, and it's 3 points apiece. Ballintubber 3 points, Hollymount-Carramore 3 points. A shock earlier on for the South Mayo followers as Claremorris defeating Breaffy. We could have another one on here if it all goes to plan, and that's a good thing. Good mark there taken by Jason Gibbons straight from the kick out. He's up looking away, looking to go long. He's looking to hit it inside as fast as possible in towards Ray Garrity. He wins that, and he has a runner in Pádraig O'Connor. As we said, wearing 30 on his back, but it's gone to the right and wide. But great mark there from Jason Gibbons, and as Ballintubber can get on top of midfield, that you'll feel certain, Mickey, that the work inside may be fruitful.
Yeah, I think get the ball into Killian O'Connor, but just to note, Danny Gurley had a lovely little bump to the Hollymount-Carramore midfielder, just so he could jump alone Jason Gibbons. Great long ball into his brother, probably knows exactly where he's coming, but it's Killian O'Connor you want on the edge of those plays, because he's a predator of a finisher. But good game so far, 3-3.
Hollymount pressing high on the Ballintubber defence and looking to get turnovers, hunting in 3 and 4s, trying to get prime possession of the football, but Ballintubber are slick through the hand at the moment and working the ball out to the far side, and they have a runner here coming in, delivered high inside, broken inside, but nobody around. Ray Geraghty to win that breaking ball, so Hollymount-Carramore can build from the back again and look to get an attack going. Nothing, no option, forced to go backwards, going across the field. Hand passed out there by Stephen Cohen. Feeds it into Robert Malloy. Malloy slips up again, but he's fouled that time, so it'll be a free. John Glavey says that. Kevin Costello for John Glavey from Ahamore, the referee this evening. You have to say the atmosphere is quite subdued at the moment. Both teams are just feeling their way out, and supporters yet to get into the game. And Stephen Cohen now trying to get Hollymount on more. Gives it inside, feeds a great little pass, goes for the return, gets it again, breaks the tackle of Killian O'Connor, his Mayo teammate, and then recycles the ball very smartly into the free man out towards Niall Walsh. And Niall Walsh is building again from the back, and Hollymount are on the attack. Ian Costello wearing number 18 on his back, as we said, pops. That's a great run, left footed. It's an opportunity for Kevin Ferrick, and it's gone over the bar, and that's a great work score from Hollymount-Carramore. They worked it across the field, retained possession of the football, and popped up with a great score.
Yeah, great score, yeah. And both teams playing very defensive, you know, when either one of them on the attack, they've only 1 or 2 in the full forward line, the opposite end, you know what I mean? So it's just one of the case who's going to, you know, seek out the gap and capitalise when it gets there.
Another kick out for Brendan Walsh, and similar to the kick out from Niall Campbell a moment ago, goes out over on the full, and you have to think that giving up possession so cheaply, and the linesman is waving his flag, and Costello must have had a foot on the pitch, so he broke the sideline protocol, so it's going to be a hot ball in front of the MacHale Park stand here, and John Glavey with the ball in hand. He's going to throw it up between Stephen Cohen and Jason Gibbons. Jason would have 6 inches on Stephen, but it won't be easy, as you can see from that, and ball breaks kindly there for Conor Kane. Conor finds a free man again. That's a great ball into Nathan Moore. Nathan, right-footed, looking for the diagonal ball, trying to get the ball over the corner back, but that's turn, and he slipped. Referee says get up, so it wasn't a foul, and the Ballintubber player almost gets on the ball, but the diagonal ball is always an option from this side of the field, from either side of the field into the large square.
You could see what he was looking for there from here as we looked down at it. He was looking for that for Darren Cohen to peel off the back of the defender right and over the top of him. Anything balls miss one of them, he's right banging on goals. So he didn't go for to score. You could actually quite see it from here. He was hitting that pass right on top of him.
Ballintubber build again from the back with Michael Plunkett. He cycles inside to Conor Finner, who's come out the field looking for football. Inside on his own is Ray Geraghty. Ray Geraghty on the edge of the large square, but he's still carrying his corner. He's trying to tap it in, and he's gone from an acute angle, almost Marco Van Basten-esque from that angle. And Mickey Conroy, you've scored 1 or 2 from that angle yourself, I'd say.
Yeah, I've missed 1 or 2 as well from that angle, unfortunately, you know, but great score. But just knowing anyone that can't see it off the ball, Pádraig Fearick is marking Alan Dillon, and he doesn't want to get him on the ball there as a link on the half forward line. So he's doing a decent job there so far.
Alan Dillon had 4 or 5 good touches, and Hollymount have identified that danger. And as we said, Jackie mentioned, Alan Dillon is sort of the playmaker of the team, and Jim O'Connor draws the foul and gets Ballintubber moving again into the hands of Damien Coleman. Coleman feeds Killian O'Connor, met by a strong challenge from Robert Malloy. The attack breaks down, and 50-50 ball pulled on. Killian O'Connor gets it up in his hand, gives it to Alan Dillon, takes a hop. He's looking to free inside, and he switched ball. That's a fantastic ball from Alan Dillon, and that's a simple score for Alan Plunkett. As we said there, as soon as Alan Dillon gets on ball, he's going to do damage.
Yeah, that's the reason they have a man mark on him, because when he gets it, you know, a pinpoint accurate pass there to Michael Plunkett or his brother Alan Plunkett, and great score over the bar. Could have been a goal chance 2-on-1, but he took the point instead.
5 points to 4, Ballintubber lead in the opening half of this quarter-final of the senior championship. Alan Dillon going with a right-footed score, and that's gone over the bar as if to emphasise the point. Mikey Conroy, can you pick me 6 numbers between 1 and 42, because you're on fire tonight, boy?
Yeah, I told you, Alan Dillon, you know what I mean, he's a deadly operator. That's it, they're going to have to go a lot tighter on him. They've already changed the marker, number 2 has gone on him. And a short kick out there. I was talking to Killian O'Connor actually earlier on. I was telling them Hollymount-Carramore go short, we played them last weekend, so he obviously was taking on board what I was saying.
Watching from Hawaii is Pádraig and Kathy Geraghty. That's a fine note. We've had Florida, Hawaii. We're going around the world, hopefully, on this map. That's Danny's uncle out in Hawaii, and it'll be hopefully he can put a bit of the warm weather in a box and send it to us. We could do it this evening. So, ball in hand, Killian O'Connor right in front of the black spot, as he's done many times, and that's a good score. Ballintubber stretched their lead to 3 points.
Yeah, we started to pick it up a small little bit. We're getting a little bit of control around the middle of the field. But again, as I say, if our county guys don't get on the ball, we can be a little bit lacking at times, but we're doing good.
Long ball off mark. He's not uncontested, taken there by Geraghty again. So Danny goes backwards to Jason Gibbons, his midfield partner, and Ballintubber look to build again. And Hollymount have retreated with 14 players behind the ball with just one man in the full forward line, and Ballintubber can build again and get their running game going, and Hollymount are going man for man on the attack. This time it's Damien Coleman, but the attack breaks down and it pops up in hand to Dermot O'Connor, who feeds his brother Killian. There's a Ballintubber player down on the just outside the 45, and he's getting to his feet now. I think it's Coleman, but Jason Gibbons keeps playing, but John Glavey isn't happy, so he's going to allow the physio to come on. And Mike, did you see anything? Was it just a game collision?
Yeah, just a collision, a bit of a bump there in the middle of the pitch. I didn't see a whole lot, you know what I mean. But Ballintubber keeping it very wide on the attack. Damien Coleman had his foot nearly on the touchline before he came in. It's bringing the Hollymount-Carramore players really wide and trying to isolate them one-on-one, and they might be getting a bit of joy out of that. But I think they're getting a lot of work off the kick out. They're going short, and they got a score off the last one. And when they went long there, they won in the midfield. Danny Geraghty got a great mark.
Ballintubber seem to be on top of midfield at the moment, Aidan, and that'll be a slight concern for Tony Duffy.
Yeah, I was when I looked down the field first, and we were saying that, myself and Jackie were saying that the two guys midfield are fairly big and strong and imposing. So the difficulty is if you go long, you're putting it out right down top of them, and you go short, you have Killian, you have Dermot, they're going to squeeze up on you when you go short. So it is a bit of a problem from us. I think we need to get the ball maybe out to the wings on our kicks particularly, and keep it away, particularly keep the two big guys in the middle and get to the wings. We need our two wing forwards and our two wing backs to get on more of that ball, because we're not going to difficult to catch ball in the middle with the two big guys there in the middle.
Ballintubber are starting to spread the ball about it, assert their dominance in midfield, as we said, Aidan, and that's where a lot of the attacks are coming from, winning the ball in midfield, and Alan Dillon getting on the ball. And you're a long time watcher of Alan Dillon. He's a class operator.
Well, I think any team would love to have an Alan Dillon. He's just one of those guys that lifts the guys around him, but it's his enthusiasm even at this stage. Even the Wednesday after Crow Park, he was back in the gym again in Ballintubber on the Wednesday night. You'd think for most lads, I know if we go back 10 years ago, they'd be on the pitch for the week, to pardon the expression.
And I'm sure if he was asked, I'm sure Ollie down here 2 rows below wouldn't be far out behind him in the gym, was he? That morning himself, was he chasing him around on the bike, was he?
Ollie's in the gym every week. He loves his...
Jeez, Ollie Dillon, a man for metal, Michael Conroy. That's you wouldn't want to be seeing him in a pair of cycle shorts coming at you.
No, I see him there in front of me there. He could be a bouncer, in the Castle Court tonight. I hope he lets me in later on, so I don't want to get on the wrong side, Ollie.
Ollie looking for more candles. I think we'll put up a collection and we'll get a few put in the box.
Just mentioning Nathan Morden out there, the dad, Jarlath, played with myself and Ballintubber for a good few years before he abdicated to Hollymount and collected a couple of senior titles on his trip.
Game restarts again. Alan Dillon out in front of Porrick Ferrick, and they can't afford to give him that much space and time on the ball, but good challenge there on Killian O'Connor. So Killian has a sideline ball on the far side, and somebody has to look for the switch ball, but gone into the corner is Geraghty, turns inside his man, wins the ball well, and Hollymount get back to cover in numbers, but coming on the charge, and that's a charge by ball switch for Jason Gibbons, and he's going back again to Conor Finnerty, and great ball switched inside to midfield, and that's found Alan Plunkett all on his own, and Plunkett got a score a few moments ago from a similar position, but that time slightly off target.
Yeah, I won't be happy with that, a free shot, you know what I mean, but he got a score earlier on. You'd imagine he would have taken that, so he won't be happy. But Hollymount-Carramore got the kick out of the way short there, like they're used to, like their game plan is that they're trying to do, you know.
Hollymount trying to build on the attack. Good solid challenge there taken by Robert Malloy from his opposite number, Michael Plunkett, and they're attacking again. Hollymount are trying to work the space, see if they can carve and open an opportunity, and Conor Kane holding the ball up looking for the runner, and on the loop around is Robert Malloy, who feeds inside to Porrick Ferrick, who's not afraid to have a go himself, and again trying to find the man free on side, and it works it all the way out here to Kevin Ferrick, left footed, and that's a great score for Hollymount-Carramore, who hadn't scored for 6 or 7 minutes, and That'll try and settle them down a little bit, Aidan.
Yeah, we needed that score there. And actually, when we looked up, there was actually a man right free on the inside. If he got his head up a bit quicker, he was actually total on. But we need that score to settle us down. We're putting it back to 2 now again.
Pádraig O'Connor feeds it inside to Danny Coleman, who gets it off to Geraghty. Geraghty from a fairway out on his right foot. That's a special one for his uncle in Hawaii, according to Jackie.
Yeah, great score, but just shows how Ballintubber have won county titles. They have 3 the last 5 or 6 years. A score goes against them, momentum, you know what I mean, but a swing straight back, quick short kick out up the pitch, and a great score from Ray Geraghty.
Hollymount choose to go short that time. Ball kicked into Robert Malloy, but the ball's turned over by Ballintubber by Jason Gibbons. But Hollymount win it back, and trying to break out with it is Barry Sheridan. But great recovery there by Brian Maloney. First time ball delivered into the half forward line, but that time cut out well by Ballintubber, and ball breaks into the hands of Pádraig O'Connor. As we said here this evening, the ground is quite dewy. There was no rain this evening, but the surface is very slick, as you can see from the contact there. And Hollymount turn over the ball, and they're on the attack again. Running a pace there is Costello, but doesn't get it that time from Malloy, so they're looking to play the man free. That free man is Ferrick again, and looking to give it back to Kevin Ferrick, and he's going to have another go from a similar position off the post. Nobody reacted. There was a man at full forward, but nobody following up for the possibility of it coming off the post, and Ballintubber can build again from the back, playing the hand pass game and take their time. 8 points to 5. Ballintubber lead here in the quarter final of the Treanlaur Catering sponsored Mayo Senior Football Championship. Earlier this evening, Claremorris causing the shock of the year by defeating Breaffy favourites, and Dillon, right-footed, he's going to put that over the bar every time, and Pádraig Ferrick was on the attack the other end. Alan Dillon has slipped up and pops it over.
Absolute class, absolute class. Cillian O'Connor, a great ball. He picked him out. He's so used to being into county trend, you know, picking Alan Dillon on that ball. But I can see Cillian's gone out to the wing forward now, and Alan's gone inside, so they're interchanging just so none of them don't run out of gas. But it's very, very smart play, and a great score from Dillon. Rolled back the ears.
Shrugging off the challenge there was Ian Costello, but he couldn't put the ball over the bar. But the referee, John Glavey, has pulled it back, I think, for a challenge as he struck the ball. He's no, he signalled wide. I thought it was it seemed to blow the whistle to indicate a free, but he said no, it was a fair shot, and it's going to be a kick out for Ballintubber. Ballintubber 9, Hollymount 5. Go short this time. Brendan Walsh. Hand pass along to Coleman. Ballintubber again, building from the back, and Alan Dillon looking for ball. Diarmuid O'Connor free on this front of the stand here at MacHale Park, and Ballintubber going through the middle, and Diarmuid O'Connor is still free, and they find him, a ball just slid off the surface, but Diarmuid, in that languid style of his, gets the ball up in hand, and he has his brother for company on the same touchline. But he opts to go squad. Great ball delivered inside, but a foot just behind Geraghty, couldn't quite get it to hand, and great. Very lucky for Hollymount-Carramore that the ball was behind him. If it was in front of him, it was a goal chance. So Hollymount then are breaking it well, break it up to Ferrick, gives it inside, 1-on-1, gets the return, no, pops it off, and he swings his right foot, and that's gone over the bar from a possible goal chance the other end. Hollymount-Carramore, 4 passes, and draw it back to a 3-point game.
Yeah, and just like Cillian O'Connor and Alan Dillon one end, Darren Cohn and Gooch Ferrick are slipping in there with great interlinking pass. But that's a great score. They need to keep in the game, because like Ballintubber, when they get on top of you, it's very hard to get back when they get 3 or 4 or 5 ahead.
Cillian O'Connor loses the ball in midfield, and Robert Malloy breaks and pops it over to Ian Costello, who's seen a bit of ball, but he can control the ball on that occasion, and Miles Kelly gratefully scoops it up, and Ballintubber can build again with Pádraig O'Connor. Far side is plenty of space, nobody challenging him, and O'Connor just continues his run, gives it to Geraghty. Geraghty thought about the shot, but he was closed down quickly. John Glavey has his hand up, and Pádraig O'Connor's going to have a go, and that's right-footed, and that's another punishment score for Ballintubber. 10 points for Ballintubber, 6 points for Hollycarra, and the forwards are starting to click for Ballintubber.
Well, the one thing I suppose that maybe makes it a little bit different than Carramore, that where the minute we get a half a chance, we seem to be able to take it. I hope that keeps up.
Alan Dillon and Robert Molloy seem to be getting to know each other here in front of us at Abercarroll. Mikey, you have a notice there?
Yeah, I know. Just a thing with Ballintubber is when you try and shut down Alan Dillon or Killian O'Connor, the likes of Pádraig O'Connor steps up, or Diarmuid O'Connor. They've just very, very good forwards. Mike or Alan Plunk is on a score as well. So that's 4 of their 6 starters with points. Where down the far side, the likes of that from number 14 there, Conor Kane. You know what I mean? That needs to go over the bar, because Ballintubber won't give you the chances.
Aidan, that's another wide for Hollymount-Carramore. They can't afford too many of those. They need to keep in close contact with Ballintubber.
You can't miss handy chance like that, because we're gasping even to get chances. Ballintubber seems so slick when they come up here at the forwards. They're all interchanging, they're all moving, and it's not, as I say, as Mickey was saying, you try to stop one, someone else pops up. So we need to nearly take all our chances, and I say keep in the game. We're 4 down. If we can keep it in 2 or 3 at half time, you need to stay in the game. If these guys get on top of you, won't get much space.
Pádraig Fearrick delivers an early ball down the line, winning the ball, cutting inside, called inside was, and he swings, and that's a fantastic score for Hollymount-Carramore. That's 2 scores in quick succession for Hollymount-Carramore. They worked it well. It was delivered into Stephen Cohen, and he swung his right boot. And Stephen, not known for his scoring exploit, but he knows where the goal is.
Yeah, but show great leadership qualities there. That when they needed him, that's the man that needs to get on the ball and just settle them down to get it back to 3 points. But great score, and ball worked up down the line, and brilliant finish from Stephen Cohen.
Both teams, when they have the ball in the hand, they're able to run with it. They're confident in their ability, and the game is 10 points to 7. It's only a 3-point game, and you have to say that it's a slightly different affair than the first game. It's end to end. Coleman being held up there tight, but the referee said it was a free. So Darren Cohen holding up Damien Coleman. Just opts to go all the way back to the free man in the half back line, which is Diarmuid O'Connor. As we said, Diarmuid was drafted in as a wing back due to the injury to Cathal Callan, so he's playing in the half back line for Ballintubber this evening. Jason Gibbons conveys one's challenge. Jason, he cycles now, gives it out, but he's stopped short. Ball given into Connor Finisher. Connor finds Coleman all on his own out here on the sideline, and nobody close to him. Ken Fair trying to stop him from cutting inside, and that's a great switch of play, and that's another score for Ballintubber, as if to emphasise the point. If one's closed down, they just find the free man.
Yeah, I said it there. It was a great score, but he's hugging the touchline is Damien Coleman, yeah. And look, on the kick out again, Ballintubber have it back as they're squeezing the life out of the Hollymount-Carramore kick out. Great change out of it.
Alan Dillon feeds it inside to Gertie, and they're trying to work the score again. Ballintubber are encamped at the moment on the Hollymount-Carramore 45 to play a high down ball towards Killian O'Connor. Killian tried to get a hand to it but couldn't win it, and away comes Niall Campbell. He gets Hollymount-Carramore building from the back, and Fearrick easily fields it up, and Stephen Cohen exchanging hand passes across their own 45. Ball finds its way out to Robert Molloy. Molloy gives it back, looking for the return for his midfielder is Niall Walsh. Walsh back to Fearrick, and Hollymount have possession again, and Ballintubber retreat, and they have a line of 6 Reds across their own half back line, but they're trying to beat that by playing a ball over the top, but it wasn't on. There was a 3-on-2 inside, and Ballintubber can work it out and just build again from the back, and Pádraig O'Connor is just sitting back there, as Michael Conroy noticed, playing sweeper for Ballintubber in the first half, and Robert Molloy seems to be the free man for Hollymount at the moment.
Yeah, but just the difference between the two sides, I suppose, why it's 11-7 is Ballintubber are very economical when they get up there, very good forwards, you know what I mean. As I said, talk Alan Dillon on the ball again, but Alan Dillon and Killian O'Connor, great ball in there.
Killian wins the ball out in front, but can't keep hold of it, but the referee said he touched it on the ground. Slightly harsh, thinks Michael Conroy, but good defending from Hollymount at the same time. But lights, speak to Ollie Dillon about the lights. He's not happy with the lights here in the stand, but coming away for Hollymount-Carramore is Pádraig Fearrick. Fearrick gives it outside. Inside, great ball delivered, left-footed inside by Darren Cohen. There's a chance of a goal. Pádraig Fearrick kept going, right-footed, saved on the great save by Brendan Walsh, and the goal at his mercy. As we said, Pádraig Fearrick has been able to take a score, and with a 4-point game, a goal could have made a big difference here for Hollymount-Carramore.
As I said, that's the difference. A massive ball in there from Darren Cohen. One-on-one situation, you have to be burying that to the net for the likes of Hollymount-Carramore in their development, trying to get in under the umbrella of the Castle Bars, of the Ballintubbers at senior football. They have to be scoring those and keeping themselves in the game. But now there's still 4 points in and coming into half-time.
Pádraig Fearrick, not known for his goal exploits, but he almost slipped one in there.
Yeah, I suppose he was running. He ran straight down top of the goalie, and in fairness to goalie, made a great save. He closed the angles well. But having said, as Mikey said, when you get in one-on-one, them chances, he nearly should have gone around him rather than run straight at him. So,
an entertaining first half here from Elverys MacHale Park. Ballintubber 11, Hollymount-Carramore 7. Could have been 1-7, but you'd have to say, but Hollymount-Carramore haven't gone away. But it's a 4-point lead for Ballintubber. We're going to hand you over to Liam Hoare now for half-time.
Thanks very much, Tom. We're going to look at some of the action from the first half, some of the replays in the first half. I was going to bring Mickey in with me for a second on those if I can. So Mickey's going to join me. We're going to look at some of the action from that first half, some of the highlights from it. First of all, we're going to look, I think it's a Ballintubber save at the end, or is it it's the Alan Dillon point, I think, early on. We'll get back to that in a moment. Mickey. Mickey, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's down to the forwards. It's definitely down to the forward play. Ballintubber have been a lot more economical up there in the forwards. If it's not Alan Dillon, it's Cillian O'Connor, Pádraig O'Connor has got one, Damien Coleman's got one, Alan Plunkett's got one. You know, that's the range of scorers they're doing it. Diarmuid O'Connor's playing in the backs, you know what I mean? So it's just very hard to tie. You tie one down, somebody else will get a score from them. You know, Damien Coleman is hugging the touchline, as I said, and he's coming in on the end of play, keeping things very, very wide. Obviously, Tom Prendergast is a very shrewd manager with Martin Connolly there on the line, and they've obviously done a lot of work watching, keeping an eye on Hollymount-Carramore. But I suppose that save at the end, you know what I mean, the likes of that, as I said, you know, in Hollymount-Carramore's development, they have to be scoring those and going in at 1 point down at half time. We saw Claremorris in the last game went down a point in half time, kept themselves in the game, and in the end grinded it out.
Okay, we're going to take a look now at that Alan Dillon point. It was a beautiful score earlier on, and showed all his class there, Mickey.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at him, Cillian O'Connor doing that for years. You know, they're 7 or 8 years playing together. They're doing that in Mayo Train the whole time. But they just interchanged. Cillian went out in the half forward line. Alan Dillon kicked in the ball to Alan Dillon. As I said, they're so used to each other. Kind of, I think it was a dummy hop and kicked it over the bar. Beautiful score. But Dillon is doing a lot of the hard running. Anyone that can see him out here or can see him, he's orchestrating the play and calling the shots completely.
Yeah, and you can't, I suppose, buy that kind of experience. I mean, they've done it so long together. We're going to take a look at that great chance. Pádraig Fierick came through the middle for Hollymount-Carramore. We're going to take a look at this twice, actually. It was a great chance. He did everything right, bar what mattered.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is
Brendan Welch. No, it's the save. We're going to take a look at it again, actually. Pádraig Fierick came through the middle, and he, as we said, set up nicely, but a great save by Brendan Welch.
Yeah, I think it was Darren Cohn. It was a great ball in from Darren Cohn. Flicked it over 2-on-1 and a massive save from Brendan Welch. But as I said, you know, maybe low and hard, but you know, you have to credit Brendan Welch for it. He made a massive save.
Have Ballintubber too much of them, do you think?
Well, look at 11-7, they're just very, very composed on the ball as they're going into the forward line. Hollymount-Carramore are, you know, kind of a bit erratic and a bit pushing the shots and kind of forcing the chances, rather than Ballintubber a bit more composed, waiting for the Dillons, the O'Connors, both O'Connors and the Alan Plunkett's to get on the ball, or Damien Coleman, and then when the chance comes, it opens up and they're taking their scores. Been a lot more economical in the scoreboard, and that's why they're 4 points up at half time, and that's why I suppose they have 3 of the last 6 or 7 county finals in their back pocket.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Mickey. We're going to join Jackie and Aidan as well for some of their thoughts at half time. They have been on with Tom, of course, during the first half. And first of all, Aidan, at 11-7, my question to Mickey was, have Ballintubber a bit too much for Hollymount-Carramore? What do you think?
Well, on the first half, they seem to be much more economical with the ball in the forwards, and the range of scorings are actually better. But having said all that, now they've let us in on a couple of occasions for goal chances, probably 2 or 3 half chances, 1 or 2 balls off the post, and in particular that last chance there, if you can net 1 or 2 of them, it just changes the focus of the game. And I think we're in a small bit of trouble on our kick-outs. In fact, we go short, the likes of Cillian and the lads are squeezing up us, and then we go long, we're getting caught in the middle of the field. So we'll probably change around tactics somewhat, either hit to the wings, keep Jason and keep Danny out of the game somewhat. The game, you might perceive, it's a bit like the first game. The first game here today, you could see that Breaffy, you thought Breaffy, I know it's mad him coming out second half, the game was over, but Claremorris stuck in. So in games like this, when they get tight, depends on if you up the intensity, teams start making mistakes, the game is still not over. You know what I mean? It looks like it's still there. You could say
No.
And
Was Furyk the man you wanted on that one? Or he looks very composed coming through. He's set himself up. I thought he's definitely going to slip this one.
Well, he was on full flight, you see, when he got that ball, and he probably didn't have the time. He was right up in the goalie when he got it. He hadn't time to judge himself. But I suppose if you were to say, would I prefer to have someone else on the ball, I probably would say yes. Given when you're in them positions, coming straight down goals. He doesn't get in there that often, do you know what I mean?
If I recall correctly, Jackie, you found yourself in a similar position with big Martin Shovelsburn in an intermediate final. You were the goalkeeper on that occasion, if I remember right, in the 91, was it, intermediate final?
1990.
1990, and Martin Byrne came in on top of you like he was going to mow you out with, but you stopped him somehow.
Thanks be to God, maybe the television pictures weren't as good then as they are now. I think it was my arse that might have hit at the time.
Didn't go in, Jackie. Didn't go in.
I lived on it for a couple of years. I survived.
What do you think?
I suppose, or maybe a bit of experience, maybe. I think there to myself when you're talking to Aidan like that. A lot of this team, over half of them are here since 2010, and they've had a couple of under-21 titles around that before that. So they're playing together for a lot of years, and you can see it maybe in the way they set up, even for kicks out there. As Aidan said, they're hanging on the wing out here. They just have their little system of play, all lovely when it's all going good, and we've been very economical with our shooting up front. At the same time, we're leaving the door ajar slightly. We've been lucky enough. Breaffy had a couple of chances against Claremorris, didn't take them. The same thing is happening with us here. We're leaving the door ajar. All they need is to get one in their we've played Hollymount-Carramore in the league this year. We beat them by a point. Last in the championship they beat us by a point, and they beat us in the league by 2 points. So there's been nothing between us this last couple of years, and I'd say at the final whistle it'll be no different.
If you're to win it, Aidan, where will it come from?
I think we need a bit more support for Darren Cohn in there, and a few more forwards each track getting on the ball. I'd like to see Nathan get on a bit more ball out in open space on the wing, particularly from our half-back line up. I'd like to see him get on a bit more ball, just to cause a bit more trouble there for Ballintubber in cutting straight through, because he has the ability in the legs. If he gets a bit of a run, he sucks players into him, frees up with them more guys. Around the middle, we struggled for a good bit with the first 15-20 minutes. We've got into it a bit more there now in the last while, particularly Stephen Cohen. He's got into the game and knows the last 10 or 15 minutes in the game. So I think we need a goal or two now, just to stop the team. If Ballintubber come out and get 2-3 points, it's going to make it difficult for us.
You're not going to keep good players out of the game all the time. Like Stephen is going to get a few moments. Darren, we all know Darren gets half a chance. So I'd say in the second half you'll see them pumping the ball in, because the Ballintubber full back line today with Cahallan being out injured, they're actually relatively small. I shouldn't have said that maybe, because other teams might be listening, but they're relatively small. So a high ball in, and Darren is a 6-foot man. So their damage could be done if they get enough of the ball out the field. Danny and Jason are doing well at midfield for us, but so we've got to stop the supply going in. If we do, we could hang in there.
The reality, of course, is, Jackie, you have a very crafty forward division.
Well, some of them are, even though they're not that old. If I would leave Alan out of it maybe, but the Killian, though, lads are only 25, but they have a lot of ball played, so they are crafty. And even Pádraig O'Connor, as you can see how crafty he is, he knows his legs aren't good enough, so he slots into little pockets for himself and uses the ball very well. And Damien Coleman, who spent all his earlier years up in the forwards, he's good, very good football brain, so he sneaks up, picks off his point, but very good in possession.
Okay, so we're waiting on the teams to come back out here. If you've just joined us here on MayoGAA.tv.com, we had a major shock earlier on this evening when Claremorris came with a late rally to knock Breaffy out of this year's Treanlaur Catering Male Senior Football Championship at the quarter-final stage. It's a bit more predictable, but we thought that in the Breaffy game as well at 11-7. Ballintubber ahead of Hollymount-Carramore. I'm going to call in Mickey Conroy again for a second. Mickey, as we wait for the teams to come back out, any new player impressed you this evening, Mickey? Any player, particularly Ballintubber players have been well showcased at this stage, but anybody coming through that you say, Aidan mentioned Nathan Moran, for example, anybody catching your eye?
Yeah, Nathan Moran definitely for, I suppose, Mayo under-21s next year. I don't think he's Mayo minor, is he?
No, he's out minor.
Yeah, so the Mayo under-21s. I think Damien Coleman is doing very well. I know he had a great game against Claremorris last Sunday, but he's playing very well as well, but he's probably playing a sweeper role, so they're kind of leaving him free. But yeah, no, bar the usual. I think Alan Dillon is pulling a lot of the strings. Killian O'Connor, very, very good tacklers, you know what I mean? Just very experienced, and that's what they've done down through the years, and that's how they've won the county titles, from their tackling and from their one-on-one play.
From one great Mickey C to another, Michael Commons. Michael Commons, come in here a second. It's Mickey C's evening here. Mickey, or Michael I should say, no one calls you Mickey C, but you're the
do believe that. Some friends in Crossmolina, yeah. How you run, how you lads, yeah.
You have an affiliation with Claremorris, of course, Michael. Your sons have played with Claremorris and been involved and all of that.
Well, yeah, that's right. Jared had an injury this year. He played in the first round, but he was tagged there this evening, and Tommy played for a good while as well. And in fact, Tommy is actually watching this above in Bellegarde, and he's delighted with it. Great service, compliments you all, and didn't see it coming, Liam. Absolutely, I have to be honest and say that. I came down here and was hoping for a decent performance against Breaffy. Just didn't see it happening tonight. I would imagine that this, as regards the club scene in the country this weekend, is probably the biggest club shock in the country, and to be something equivalent of perhaps maybe Milltown beating Corofin in the Galway Championship or something like that. We didn't see it coming.
Well, particularly the form Breaffy carried into the game. You know, I know Ballintubber were a bit 6s and 7s last weekend, but Breaffy came into the game with a lot of momentum.
Oh, they came in with huge momentum. I was over in Bacon there last week, and I think it was 6-18 or something they scored, and honestly, you know, being honest, we kind of feared what could happen here this evening, and the lads did very well. They came from 4 points down. It has to be remembered, they got the last 5 points of the match. Great performance by a very, very young Claremorris team, and they have a good lot coming through, but this is certainly a major breakthrough for the club tonight.
They don't lack for talent.
Well, they don't lack for talent, and you know, fair dues to Johnny Mulkeen. You know, Johnny is a very much respected figure, and he has the goodwill of everybody in the parish. And
he got those junior lads out playing the last few years as well. He got footballers playing in Claremorris.
Oh, he did indeed. Even in charge of the junior B team, whatever Johnny was in charge of, he has a way with him. He's a very nice lad, and people love Johnny in the parish. And you know, honestly, I think he's just got the best out of these lads, and what they did there this evening was phenomenal. You know, said hats off to them.
Okay, you'll have to play them on our request tomorrow night, Michael. We'll let you go, Michael. Thank you very much for joining us. Michael Commons needs no introduction. No more than the other Mickey C here needs no introduction. There's only one Mickey C. Yeah. Is it you?
No, it's me. I can take over from Michael Commons.
Yeah, you have a good future, Mickey. I think it's only starting for you, Mickey. Really.
Absolutely, yeah. You know what I mean. I was talking to Rachel Boy. She's actually texting me there, wondering, am I available for Sky next year? So I am, Rachel. I didn't text her.
The team that didn't come out too quickly in the first game won it. That was Claremorris. Ballintubber are inside taking their time about it as well. Hollymount-Carramore are out on the field. They're back into little pockets as well to try and fill the time and all of that, and we'll hopefully see Ballintubber fairly soon. I think, Mickey, you're edging it slightly for Ballintubber. You think they've just got a bit... It's going to be hard to stop Ballintubber scoring a few points, ticking over. They're deadly up front.
Yeah, they're flowing definitely up front, definitely are very fluid in their attack, you know. They're great experience, you know, 11-7, 4-point cushion now. You know, they know going in the second half, Hollymount-Carramore have to come out and get the scores, and when they do, that's when they really exploit the gaps and the little pockets of play and probably pick up a goal. I think there's a goal there in the Ballintubber forward line, definitely the way they're moving, you know, so that's probably what could happen if Hollymount-Carramore have to come out and try and win this game, and if they do, they could find the gaps, and no better men than the Dillons and the O'Connors and the Plunkets to expose them.
Okay, Michael, thank you very much. Back to Tom Kearney, second half of this Treanlaur Catering Mayo Senior Football Championship quarter final. Don't forget, tomorrow we have the minor and junior finals here as well on MayoGAA.tv.com. Thank you. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you, Liam. And if you want to get in touch with us, get us on Twitter at MayoGAA.tv or at Facebook, MayoGAA.tv.com on the website. John Glavy is just having a count up to make sure we have the right number of players on the field, and he's ready to get us back underway, and the second half is on. Stephen Cohen wins the breaking ball. Ballintubber are 4 points down as we get the second half underway here, live from Elverys MacHale Park in the Treanlaur Catering Senior Championship quarter final, trying to find Nathan Moore in the left corner forward position, but the attack breaks down and Pádraig O'Connor can let the game build. Nathan Moore tries to hold him up, but Hollymount have Diarmuid O'Connor playing, as we said, in his club known wing back position. Feeds Jason Gibbons, who goes for a long fist pass. I was a bit optimistic, but coughs up possession rather cheaply in the opening stages of this second half, and Hollymount can run the ball and build as a three. Ian Costello feeds it off to Stephen Cohen, and Hollymount looking to get something going early in the second half. Niall Walsh on the loop around is Conor Kane. Conor put down the accelerator but had to put the brakes on very quick. Gets back onto his favourite left foot, and that's a great shot from distance, and that's the opening score of the second half to Hollymount-Carramore. A great attack from Hollymount and a great way to get the second half started.
Yeah, really good score. We needed that one now just to get it settled down. It's probably not the kick out now again. We need to squeeze up on this kick out.
From the setup that we can look at here, Michael Conroy, it doesn't look that either team seem to be playing with a sweep, but they seem to be going man for man just in the opening stages here.
Yeah, no, they are man for man on the kick out, as I said earlier on, but definitely when the play develops, you find the wing backs dropping back. You'll watch it now when they drop back after the kick out, but Jason Gibbons has won that, and one of them is sit back into the pocket.
Another mark for Jason Gibbons off Stephen Cohen, and he launches a high ball into the full forward position to Killian O'Connor. The ball breaks to Geraghty. Killian pounces on it, tries to right foot it into the net, but can't. It's blocked up by Hollymount, and then the breaking ball is recovered. So Ballintubber answers straight away with Alan Plunkett pouncing on the loose ball, and almost a goal opportunity there for Ballintubber.
Yeah, there was a split second I thought it was going to break too, but the Hollymount rear guard got back just in time.
Nathan Moran feeds into Malloy. Malloy goes in field. Man free in the 6th position, and he's carrying the ball at pace. It's Kevin Fearick, and he put the foot down and he delivers a good ball into Conor Kane. Gets it into his hands. Conor looking to come back left, but stays right. He is Brian Murphy for company. Decides to keep possession of the ball and gives it back to Pádraig Fearick, who had the goal opportunity just before half time that could have made a big difference to this, but as Michael Conroy's noted, the sweepers are back in their positions, and they're trying to go diagonal ball delivered inside, and the ball breaks to Nathan Moore, who slips as he gathers the ball, but he's up on his feet and trying to work an angle to get a shot off. He decides to go back to Stephen Cohen on the touchline in front of the stand here of Elverys MacHale Park. A good crowd in to watch this second game of the evening, and advantage played for Darren Cohen. John Glavey had his arm up, and a fair call.
Yeah, look at it. Darren Cohen played inter-county football. He started the Connacht final a couple of years ago in 2014, I think, against London. Showed all his experience there to win a free, exactly what Hollymount-Carramore needed. But just on the last play, we're on about sweepers. But Jason Gibbons caught the ball when the long ball into the full forward line took the sweepers completely out of it, and they got a point from it for Alan Plugg, second from play.
Tight angle for the right footed, and trying to get the players in around the house. So right footed, will it have enough curl in it for Darren Cohen? This time it's going to go to the right and wide, and Hollymount still have the 4-point deficit. Opening points for both teams in the second half. No doubt they'll be looking for possibly Jason Gibbons again. They're coming to this side, trying to find Gibbons. This time Nathan Moran's out on him. They look like it on the kickouts. Nathan is trying to give him, but that's another mark, and that's a great ball for Killian O'Connor, driving into the right corner forward position. He has Alan Plunkett for company when Killian gets the ball up after a fashion and gives it to Plunkett, and he's coming around on the loop, but there's a charge, but a foul given away by Barry Sheridan, and you'd have to say that it was a great bit of play from Ballintubber.
Yeah, look at this route run again. It's Brendan Walsh, Jason Gibbons. We've seen it 100 times. Won it clean in midfield and got Killian O'Connor, the right man, on the ball into a little 1-2 with Michael Plunkett or Alan Plunkett, and won the free. But you've seen Ballintubber do that how many times? The long ball, Jason Gibbons wins it, and then into one of the forwards. And that, no matter how many sweepers you're playing there, takes them all out of it.
Looks like the Hollymount have brought Nathan Moran out on Jason Gibbons.
Yeah, he's gone from there in the last minute or so, just to obviously try and negatise them that fetch in the field. I think Jason's probably got about 3 or 4 marks at this stage in the match, so I think it's just for the size wise to be able to go up and compete with him in the air.
And it's not new to Nathan. Nathan played midfield for the minors, who played midfield for Mayo, played midfield for the school as mentioned, and it's not an alien position to him, so it's going to be a free for Killian O'Connor, the right corner forward position. John Glavey getting all the ducks in a row, and Killian goes through his all too familiar routine and pops it over the black spot. So Ballintubber stretch their lead 13 points to 8.
It's good to see, even in this day and age with all the pushing up on defenders, that you have faith in your midfielders, and Brendan Welch had faith. He went to Jason Gibbons knowing that he's well able to win most of his ball.
Short kick out for Hollymount, trying to build slowly from the back, and Ballintubber have Gary Loftus back as sweeper at the moment between the two lines. Hollymount playing with the 2-man full forward line. They've got caught in their own full back line again, so they're trying to run the ball out, and Ballintubber are pressing them hard. Ball makes his way into the hands of Kevin Costello, feeds it out to the far side. Took a hit as he gave that pass, and it finds its way into the hands of Darren Cohen, and gives it Pádraig Fearick. Pádraig, as we said, saw plenty of the ball in the first half and decides to go back to Nathan Moore, and Nathan delivers it first time inside, and marshalled there by 3 defenders. Dermot O'Connor, one of the the defender trying to help, and that's a kick on the turn by Conor Kane. He delivers it high over the bar, and that's a great score. And Mickey Conroy, you'd have to say that's natural.
Yeah, absolutely, great score. You know what I mean? He hadn't many options, to be honest, and Rapper got his full boot around, wrapped his boot around and over the bar. But there was a huge blanket of Ballintubber defenders there, and that's all the option he had. But a great score, and they need it. And they'll probably need a goal to get back in this game, if you ask me, for Hollymount-Carramore.
Ballintubber on the attack straight away, trying to answer score for score. Ball in the hand of Plunkett, slips, and ball kept in play, and Ballintubber keep possession and feed it back to Michael Plunkett. Michael Plunkett feeds it forward, and Alan Dillon coming inside loses possession of the ball, but gives a little kick pass out to Conor Finnerty. Finnerty with his right foot is going to put that over the bar, and a great score for Ballintubber. And as we said earlier, it's score for score in the second half.
Yeah, I just suppose Conor is the most natural forward maybe that we would actually have. Sometimes a bit nervous maybe on the ball, but that was one time he took a score very well.
Hollymount this time go long, and the ball is won by Ballintubber on the break, and they build on the attack again. And it's Gary Loftus, the corner forward, who's still going, and it's a great ball, and he's continued his run if it can be offloaded to him, but it's just evades him, and he won the breaking ball in midfield, continue his run similar to Pádraig Fierick in the first half. And if the ball had got to his hand, it was a goal opportunity. But Hollymount-Carramore swiftly on the counter attack, released the ball. Cillian O'Connor back in the left half back position, trying to shut down the score, and that's a right footed shot taken by Kevin Costello, but unfortunately wide.
That's some work from Cillian O'Connor. He put the ball into Alan Plunkett and sprinted. It might make it 60 or 70 yards to put the pressure on Enda Maloney for the shot. But just a note on the Ballintubber forwards too, all of them have now scored from play, which, as I said earlier on, it's very, very hard when you stop one, the rest of them get in, you know.
Ballintubber 14, Hollymount-Carramore 9 points. It's a 5-point game here in the second half of the Treanlaur Catering quarter final. We have Sean Horn in New Zealand out there on Holly saying hello. He's a lifelong Tubber man and a former player. And Sean Henley and Ann Kane say hello as well on our social media. If you want to get in touch with us, let us know. And that's another score for Hollymount-Carramore. 10 points to pour. It's back to a 4-point game, and those scores have to be taken, and those chances have to be they have to take the most of those chances.
That score actually happened when Nathan Morden went up and broke that ball on Jason Gibbons. We sucked up the break, and that's where the ball actually came from. It was 2 passes straight into Kevin Fierick for that score.
They're gone long again to Nathan Moore, and that's the second break he's won on Jason Gibbons, and it's a more natural environment for Nathan Moore, and usually he's the man trying to win the ball in front, but he's using his few years, and that's another opportunity for Hollymount-Carramore from a breaking ball. Mikey Conroy, that's Nathan Moore, has made a bit of a difference out here in midfield. They're not winning primary possession with Jason Gibbons.
Absolutely, as we alluded earlier on, the scores were coming from Jason Gibbons, feeding the long balls into the full forward line, but Nathan Moore has done a great job there. So Tony Duffy has spotted that Jason Gibbons is doing the damage, and he's put Nathan on him, and they've got the last 2 scores from the breaking ball.
Are you slightly surprised it may have taken this long to actually make that change?
Well, yeah, to be honest, I could have made it earlier on, but it's easy up here, you know what I mean.
Who'd be a manager? Do you fancy the job next year?
Well, yeah, I might, you know what I mean, but if the price is right, you know, we'll do anything, you know. But there, another win there. They've won the last 3 balls around midfield, so Hollymount-Carramore need to get back into it and get it back to 1.
The ball played over the top. There was a runner through. There seemed to be a drag back, and as the goal is on, the goalkeeper's missed it. He shifted inside, but John Glavey has pulled it back. There was an advantage as the ball was played over the top. A fantastic break from Hollymount-Carramore. They tried to shift it inside, but it was shut down early, and you'd have to say another goal opportunity goes in, but the referee is bringing it up as Dermot O'Connor, or could have been Brian Murphy was remonstrating with the referee. Brian Murphy has made the free a lot easier for Darren Cohen to tap over, and Hollymount-Carramore certainly taking the game to Ballintubber.
It's happened. It's that middle third of the field. We've sort of got a grip through there. We've got the last 3 kick-outs and 3 breaks, and it's going to end up now 3 scores. So we need to if we keep the pressure on here, this game could go down the wire yet.
Yeah, it's carbon copy of the other game too. When Breaffy were 4 points up, you know, they started winning ball around midfield Claremorris and got back into it. They're going to get back to 2 now here, and it's going to be all to play for in the last 15 minutes.
Halfway through the second half here in Elverys MacHale Park, it's a 2-point game.
I think Ballintubber just comes a bit predictable with the kick out at this stage. They're putting every ball down on top of Jason. It's all Holly are just getting around them like that, and that's awful easy to counteract.
They decide to change it up this time. They're trying to find Jason Gibbons' midfield partner, the captain Danny Garrity. Couldn't take it first time, but they win the breaking ball, and Michael Plunkett feeds it into Cillian O'Connor, who finds himself in the middle of the field. And Ballintubber building again through Brian Murphy, running straight lines and shifts it to Alan Dillon, who had such an influence in the first half of Ballintubber. No free, he went looking for it. He's asking the question of John Glavey, but John says no, play football. Michael Plunkett, Jason Gibbons into Dillon. Dillon gives it to Conor Finnerty. There's only Garrity inside in the full forward position, and Alan Plunkett stuck for options. He's had to come around the house again, and he brings it all the way out to Conor Finnerty again. And Hollymount-Carramore have organised themselves well here to block up any avenues and any routes that Ballintubber want to go, and Ballintubber have to go all the way back to their centre back position, and Gary Loftus is going to switch the attack from left to right, and they come across the middle again to Dermot O'Connor, and they're trying to poke a hole in this Hollymount-Carramore defence. And you have to say that Hollymount-Carramore are working very hard. They're pressing up and trying not to allow any space inside, and Nathan Moran seems to find himself free in front of Gertie, but he's got his hand up. Killian O'Connor works it out to O'Connor, looked to be off the ground, but the referee is closer to it than we are. O'Connor gives it back to Killian O'Connor, swings his right boot at it, too much on it, and it goes wide. And you have to say, Michael Conroy, Hollymount-Carramore have set themselves up well there.
Yeah, they set up a great blanket there, but Ballintubber were very patient at the same time. Waited to get the right man on the ball. Killian O'Connor is the only man you wanted on the ball, pulling the trigger. But just how that play started, they won midfield. Whether it could have been a free down here for Hollymount-Carramore, Jason Gibbons brought it up, but they're so smart. They got their Dillons and their O'Connors on the ball. They're good ball winners. They're very comfortable just to settle them down, and just eventually it could end up in a score, but just wide from Killian O'Connor. Substitution
on the Hollymount-Carramore team. Number 20, Damien Kelly, is coming on, and it looks like this is Enda Maloney, who hasn't featured much today. I'd have to say it's been very quiet for Enda today.
No, he was actually placed in the forward line. He's normally positioned normally as a defender, but I suppose we were just short in that area there. Damien would be a natural corner forward. He'll run direct to goals. There's only one route for him. When he gets possession, he'll turn us direct. So it'll actually cause more problems. Ballintubber, we can get that ball into him. Just ask more questions.
Oh, that's a good challenge there from Barry Sheridan, and gets Hollymount-Carramore on the move. And corner forward Brian Maloney is continuing his run. Stephen Cohen carrying the ball on the far side here. He is Alan Plunkett for company, and Hollymount-Carramore recycle the ball with Nathan Moran. Give it to the man free, but that's a bad effort from there.
Yeah, Hollymount-Carramore have signalled that they're losing the battle in midfield. They went short there with the kick out and waited for the gap and worked it out, and just narrowly wide, but they're not winning the ball in midfield like they were, so that's why they're going short with the kick out.
Another member of the All-Ireland winning Ballinrobe Community School team, Conor Heenan, is going through a strenuous warm-up on the sideline, and Alan Dillon with a fairly strong time, not known for his over-exuberance in the tackle, shall we say, as Miles Kelly as Barry Sheridan hit the ground. I don't think there was any much malice in that one.
No, I don't think so. I think he might have been a bit frustrated. He didn't catch the kick out. It was one that he could have got, but came down and kind of maybe got a bit high. But I think only a yellow card if he gets anything at all.
If he was 6'2", he'd have hit him in the chest. That was the only problem, you see.
The genes, is it?
Well, it wasn't Ollie that hit him. He wouldn't be up yet.
Hollymount get the game back underway, and Kevin Costello trying to get them going, meets Killian O'Connor, trying to recycle the ball, and Sheridan goes down again. So the referee, it's a sideline ball though for Ballintubber. Dermot O'Connor kicks possession away to Ian Costello, and Hollymount can build again with Darren Cohen, who's becoming more prominent in the last few minutes. Gives a great ball into Kevin Fearick. Kevin comes in on his left side, and that's a great score for Hollymount-Carramore. It's a 1-point game, and you'd have to say that Hollymount-Carramore have had most of the possession. That's a poor kick out by Brendan Walsh, and they put themselves under pressure here. Costello feeds it out the side, and again Ballintubber seem to be flustered at this stage. They seem to have concentration seems to have lapsed for a few moments, so it's going to be a free shortly because John Glavey's given the free. But Michael Conroy, what were Ballintubber at back there?
Yeah, look, the last score came from the giveaway from Dermot O'Connor. He won't be happy with it, and I wouldn't mind his brother did some great work in the tackling. He's tackling really, really hard tonight, but Hollymount-Carramore have done very well to get themselves back within one, and have the ball in the middle of the pitch here again.
Hollymount going long, simple ball played out in the wing, trying to keep it in is Killian O'Connor. Killian tried to hit it first time, but blocked well there by Barry Sheridan. Hollymount can't come away with the ball. It's a free though, and the Ballintubber players are remonstrating with each other, Jason Gibbons and Alan Plunkett, but Stephen Cohen gets the game back underway, and Hollymount-Carramore are on the attack again. They've one man from forward line. It's going to have a free inside, tug on the jersey, and Conor Heenan is still going through a strenuous run, and Conor has plenty of pace, and coming in with 7-8 minutes to go, he could cause a few problems for that Ballintubber full back line.
No, he's very accurate. We hadn't had him all the year. Obviously, he's down in Sligo playing the soccer, but he's very accurate. As you see, he got man of the match in the All-Ireland colleges final. So if he gets near enough a goal, he's very accurate. He's liable to kick you over a point or two. That last goal there, actually, I was saying to you, when we were seeing the ball, Damien came in, he was direct, he was right out in front, popped the ball into him. The minute he was ready to turn, the defender had no chance, but actually, he put the tug on him. Yep.
Momentum has totally swung in Hollymount-Carramore's way. They've got the last, if this goes over, 5 scores in a row. And momentum is very hard change, you know what I mean? We saw it in the last game. Same thing happened. Breaffy were 4 down. Claremorris got the last 5 scores. It's level now. We'll just see will Ballintubber leader stand up and be counted in the last 10 minutes.
Could another South Mayo team make a shock of the game? Nathan Moran gets in front of Jason Gibbons this time, but Jason doesn't call for the mark. He's getting the game underway. He's trying to get his Ballintubber teammates going. Gives it to Alan Dillon, evades Nathan Moran, feeds it inside to Michael Plunkett, who finds himself in the right half forward position. Alan Dillon continued to run. Alan Dillon was dragged back. The referee said no. It appeared to be a foul, but Hollymount-Carramore come away with the ball, and Darren Cohen, as we said, has become more prominent in the last few minutes of this game. Chips a nice little ball outside of his right foot, but can't keep possession of it as Damien Kelly. But John Glavey says it's a foul to the other division of the Ballintubber supporters. But now he's going looking for Jason Gibbons. Jason Gibbons obviously said something. He was remonstrating with the referee. Sorry, Danny Geraghty. He was remonstrating with the referee about the thing. He's given a black card for the referee's indicating for something he said. It's Danny Geraghty, and that's a black card for the Ballintubber captain. Ballintubber are starting to slightly lose their cool, calm exterior, and in a tied game with only a few minutes to go, to lose your captain, it could make a big difference to Hollymount-Carramore.
Yeah, Danny Geraghty, and he was doing okay, but Jason Gibbons won that ball again into Alan Dillon. I thought he was going to pull the trigger. It's not like him not to, and I think he was trying to win the free for his team and a guaranteed score, but John Glavey didn't give it. He won't be too happy with him after the game for that one.
Ball in hands with Darren Cohen. Chips it short. David Clark is coming on for the black card, but that's a speculative effort. It was on his own. Conor Kenny tried to have a go, but from that distance, possession of the ball would have been maybe a slight bit smarter.
Yeah, I need to be more cuter on the ball there. I know he scored a great one over his shoulder there a couple of minutes ago, but with the game hanging in the balance, you need to be a lot more clinical like that.
And the kick out is won by Hollymount-Carramore, and they can give Nathan Moran hand pass and get Ballintubber at 6s and 7s. That's a left-footed shot from Kevin Ferrick. It drops short into the grateful hands of Brendan Walsh, and Ballintubber are going to try and build from the back. 2 challenges off. Gary Loftus takes 1 and 2 shoulders on this left-hand side. If they can switch the play, is the aforementioned David Clark. He's being shadowed well, but Ballintubber are carrying on the far side with brings the ball inside to Plunkett. Pops hand pass inside to Jason Gibbons. Gibbons has a runner coming into the midfield. Killian O'Connor demanding the ball, but they go long inside to Geraghty. Can't get it first time, but he's surrounded by Hollymount-Carramore. Poirier strips the ball, but John Glavey has his hand up. That would be some of the crowd don't like it, and Michael Conroy, you had a queer look at it yourself.
Not so sure. It was a great ball in there from Michael Plunkett, and a great win by Ray Geraghty. He's winning a lot of ball in there. He's proven a big ball winner there for Ballintubber tonight, but I'm not so sure was that a free. But look at maybe Mr. Glavey is making up for the Alan Dillon one exactly. Yeah.
It's all checks and balances in the referee game.
Yeah, I think he's making up for the last one. I think he got that one call in Allen there, and that's what actually Danny Geraghty got sent off, got the black card in frustration. So I'm sort of think he's trying to balance up the books on this one.
So you can get a black card nowadays for bad language.
Yeah, I think it was a case that the referee made the decision. It's the referee was issued the black card. And that's over the bar, and that's a 1 point lead for Ballintubber. 15 points Ballintubber, 14 points Hollymount-Carramore. A 1 point game. Hollymount going long. Niall Campbell gives it out, but that's a bad one, and Jason Gibbons gives the ball, and Gibbons gets Ballintubber on the way again, feeds it in. Great block down on Killian O'Connor. So Jason Gibbons gets the rebound. Killian goes long inside. If Alan Dillon can get his hands to this, there's a possible opportunity, but swallowed up well by Niall Campbell. Fouled by Alan Dillon. A good foul to give away.
Yeah, it worked in the first half, the Killian O'Connor, Alan Dillon 1-2. But just to note, Dermot O'Connor is now picking up Stephen Cohen, and he likes to get the ball for the kick out in the bottom right hand pocket here. But Dermot O'Connor is so fast, he can get up behind him. He stopped that.
The Hollymount-Carramore goalkeeper, they're playing with fire back here in the full back line, but they eventually get the ball out to Francis Conroy, who's Hollymount breaking one, long ball delivered into the corner, but nobody home but the sweeper. The sweeper gonna do his job. That's what he's there for. Coleman comes inside, low hand pass, risky option, but working it well. Finds Dermot O'Connor. Dermot O'Connor switches the angle of the play across the field. Ballintubber feeding the ball, and there's not much time left to play in this game. And Ballintubber with a 1 point lead. 15 plays 14. 9 minutes to go. Hollymount-Carramore just have to be sensible, be smart, and the chances will come. They've been taking them as they've got them. It's been a high scoring game, as we said. 15 points, played 14, but Ballintubber is slowly trying to build, and O'Connor gets the ball, but it's broken again, and away come Hollymount-Carramore. A nice chip pick there, and Hollymount-Carramore get the free. Foul by Garrity. Killian O'Connor not releasing the ball, so John Glavey says bring it up. Malloy was trying to take it early. He's trying to get it, but John says that there's your advantage, and the Hollymount break now with Brian Maloney. Quick ball inside, trying to find Conor Kane. Conor wins the ball out in front. He's looking for support. He has Ferg outside him, but he's decided to go on his own. He checks one way, swings his right foot at that, and it's tipped, and the goalkeeper tips it over the bar. 15 plays 15. We have game on here at MacHale Park.
Yeah, great score. He was looking to get it onto his right boot the whole time, just stole a yard on Gary Loftus and over the bar, but it's right in the balance now. It's whoever wants it, it's right there for them.
Hollymount-Carramore 15 points, Ballintubber 15 points. 8 minutes to go. Elverys MacHale Park in the Treanlaur Catering quarter-final, the Mayo Senior Football Championship. Brendan Walsh looking for Jason Gibbons again, and Gibbons gets his hands to the ball. He has Plunkett inside him, and he's carrying the ball at pace, trying to chase him down as his opposite number, Ferrick, right foot, and that's gone wide. It was a direct route, as Michael Conroy's called it. It's Route 1 football, and it's opposite number. Kevin Costello chased him down, but the pressure was put on him. Ballintubber, chance goes a begging.
Yeah, I'm afraid normally Alan would be very good in those situations. Ballintubber bringing on the sub, trying to freshen up a small bit. Stephen Broderick coming on for Ray Garrity.
Kevin Costello did a good job running down the Plunkett there.
Well, it's like running down last cause, and sometimes it's easy to stand up and let him off, but that little bit enough just to get him to put the pressure on, to take the kick, just put enough to get him off it.
Going long now. Ball breaks well. Stephen Cohen gets the ball on the front of the stand here of Elverys MacHale Park, and he has 2 Ballintubber players for company. He's looking for an option. He finds it in the shape of Darren Cohen, captain of Hollymount-Carramore, and switch the play to the far side. A great ball to Pádraig Ferrick, being faced up by Pádraig O'Connor. Hollymount-Carramore build again through Darren Cohen. Darren gives a nice hand pass outside to Kevin Ferrick with that left foot, but that drops into the hands of Brendan Walsh, and Brendan gets Ballintubber moving again. 15 points apiece in the quarter-final of the Montclair Cup. One South Mayo team have already caused a shock this evening. Could there be a second one on the cards here for Ballintubber? And Hollymount are getting numbers back, trying to stop the score, but the cornerback Gary Loftus is on his own, but Stephen Cohen sees the danger. He's trying to get back in front, but Stephen Cohen did very well to read that. He covered very, very well as Loftus continued his run from the play. So Hollymount-Carramore can build again, but they're met by a Royal Killian O'Connell with a strong challenge, who's got through an awful lot of hard work in the middle of the field, running up, chasing down lost causes, trying to turn over possession for his team. But Hollymount keep possession of football with Malloy in front of the media tower here at Elverys MacHale Park. Coming up to the 27 minutes gone. Nobody's leaving here at the moment as Stephen Cohen gathers up a loose ball, but pops it up, and like a quarterback there is Conor Kane. Conor Kane feeds it out to midfielder Niall Walsh, who Hollymount are just keeping the ball, trying to work the angle, trying to move the Ballintubber team around. Every Ballintubber player at this point is behind the ball. The furthest man forward is Cillian O'Connor, who's in the middle of the field, and there's nobody in the only player in the Hollymount-Carramore half of the field is Kevin Costello, but Hollymount-Carramore lose possession, and Michael Conroy's getting to the point where one mistake could be very, very costly.
Yeah, that's what could happen. It could be a mistake. It's very cagey. No team wants to lose it. You know, everybody was in the one half of the pitch from the half midfield onwards, but it's just down to who gets the ball in the right position and executes the chance in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Referee John Glavey said there was a pull, so it's a free for Ballintubber on their own, but there's going to be a substitution. The aforementioned Conor Heenahan is ready to come in, but the referee says no. Jason Gibbons is attacking. He's being chased down by Darren Cohen. Gives possession. Ballintubber trying to work it around. Alan Dillon trying to make an angle. Ball, Jason Gibbons switches the angle of the play to the middle of the field, and Ballintubber have found a gap, and Coleman's there. He has a runner on his shoulder. If we give it to Michael Plunkett, he's coming at pace, held up well there by Malloy, and Hollymount-Carramore try to stop the shot of Cillian O'Connor, but that's over the bar, and Ballintubber slightly more clinical when they're on the attack.
That's what I mean, the right man at the right time, Cillian O'Connor. Who else would you want on it, left or right, over the bar? And Ballintubber have a point lead, and it could be very hard to get a point in the last couple of minutes, but beautiful play, couple of Nicholas passes, and the right man in the right position, Cillian O'Connor.
Coming call to the sideline is Kevin Fearick, and Conor Heenan goes straight into the full forward line, and he's going to play on the edge of the square. As the crowd applaud the efforts of Kevin Fearick here in Elverys MacHale Park. As we said, a good crowd in here to watch this second game, and Nathan Moran can't keep that, and the ball breaks there for Darren Cohen. He's being chased down, but he swings his right foot at it, and it's high into the night sky here at MacHale Park. That's a great score. Route 1 ball, a la Ballintubber almost, but it was a fantastic effort from that angle.
Super score. That ball's running away from him. He flicked it up in one movement and one strike over the bar for about 35 yards.
Yeah, Ballintubber will be very disappointed. They had 3 men to the one man around midfield. Shouldn't have got it, but great chip up and great score from Darren Cohen.
Instant reply from Hollymount-Carramore, ties it again, 16 points apiece, and as we said, time ticking away. We have no more than 1 minute of normal time and whatever the referee is going to allow. So Hollymount-Carramore, but Alan Dillon is free in the left corner forward position. He has Alan Plunkett all on his own, but Dillon goes for the shot himself, and he puts it over the bar. Is there any other player you'd want in that position with a minute to go?
Him or Cillian O'Connor, as I said, they're getting the right men on the ball every single time, and that's really why they're ahead in this game. You know, I think Dillon has 2 from play, but all the 6 forwards have scored. Cillian O'Connor has a couple from play as well, and that's why they're ahead. The right men in the right spot at the right time.
Substitution on the Ballintubber team is number 22. Stephen O'Malley is coming onto the field, and he's coming on for Alan Plunkett, who's covered a lot of ground. So we have a 1 point game with whatever time John Glavey is going to allow, and Stephen Cohen tried to keep it in, but the umpire says no, and it's going to be a sideline ball and possession of the ball for Ballintubber, and Jason Gibbons gives it to Cillian O'Connor. Tight sideline here on the stand side. Cillian pops it into the corner, into Stephen Broderick. Broderick gets past Kevin Fearick, and he's through. He's being chased down, but he's going through. Can't get the shot off. So great defending from Hollymount-Carramore, and Hollymount-Carramore break out with the ball, and Malloy challenged by Cillian O'Connor, but pops the hand pass off to Kevin Costello, and Hollymount-Carramore have to get a score. They need a point, or they need a goal to win it, and they find themselves all the way back to their own goalkeeper, Niall Campbell. They can't afford to be having the ball in this half of the field. They need to get it into an attacking position as soon as they can, but Ballintubber are going for the full court press, and it's a free now for Hollymount-Carramore for a pull, so they're trying to get this ball going as fast as they can. Niall Walsh goes sideways across the pitch to Robert Malloy, and Hollymount-Carramore need a point. They need a score. They need a point to take us into a replay, and Darren Cohen is doing his best. He's going left. Damien Kelly, sorry, he's going left, going right. Gives it out to Conor Kane. Conor Kane goes to skyline again, and that's high, and that's over the bar, and you can hear what it means to the Hollymount-Carramore supporters.
Yeah, and just like Ballintubber, the right man was on the ball at Conor Kane. I think that's his fourth play in the second half. They're the men you need, him or Darren Cohen. That's exactly what you need, and executed the score. I don't know, is there a winner there?
17 points apiece. Both teams playing with spirit, playing with a great endeavour, trying to get into the semi-final, and you have to say the Hollymount-Carramore players have certainly responded in the second half. But the ball, its possession is copped up. Nathan Moran pops it up, gives it back to the pocket, and it's left-footed, and that's high, but it's going to drop short into the hand of Brendan Walsh, and Ballintubber from almost causing their own downfall. There goes the final whistle, and Michael Conroy, what were Ballintubber at?
Yeah, just a handling error from Brendan Walsh, but I think it was Brian Murphy, the number 4, made a great block there and saved Ballintubber. To be honest, they could be out of the championship, because the way Conor Kane was going, that was going over the bar. He'd 4 from playing the second half. That could have been 5, and it could have been they could have won it there right at the death.
So it's a tie game there. The Ballintubber players and the Hollymount players are just trying to find out from referee John Glavey what the permutations are. It's a replay, as we understand it. So we'll just cut over to Liam Horn.
Thanks, Tom. We believe it's a replay midweek. Mickey, you reckon it's a replay midweek, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the we got an itinerary out there a couple of weeks ago on the next couple of games, whether it's a league game or championship game. But apparently, if it's going to be a draw, it's going to be a midweek replay. So you're probably looking at everybody back here again Wednesday night.
Yeah, the players are still out in the field shaking hands. It was a tumultuous battle, it has to be said, Mickey. It was an incredible game.
Yeah,
some great scores there in the second half.
Absolutely, great game. Hollymount-Carramore are going to take huge momentum going into Wednesday night's game. They were 11-7 down at half time, and I think at one stage went 5, if not 6 points down, and got it all the way back, and could have really snuck it at the death. But Brian Murphy, Ballintubber teammates, will be thanking him tonight, because he got a great little half block on that shot from Conor Kane. He'd 4 from play in the second half, and it was guaranteed a score, I'd say.
Lived on your nerves there, I'd say, Aidan, for a while.
No, it's not easy up here watching it. In fairness, as I said at half time, I thought we might need a goal, but that second half was a fantastic game. You look at this time of the year, and both teams kicked 17 points. And I don't know what the statistics were, but most of them are actually points from play, bar 3 or 4 frees on each side. So you have teams kicking 13, 14 points in a game this time of the year. It's fantastic football.
It was a game of table tennis there, Jackie, with the scores one end, then the other equaliser. You'd go one up, and they'd come back, and this and that. There was some great football there in that second half.
I just lost my train of thought there for a moment. As I said earlier on, there's never much between these two teams this last couple of games we've had. And I said the same would apply today. Just as well I'm up here and not down in the middle of the stand on there, because I'd be blinded and cursed at this stage with that.
Yes, don't say it.
Attempted tackle on Stephen Broderick. I would definitely deserve the free in that situation.
Okay, well, it was a frenetic encounter, and we'll have to do it all over again. And we have both teams going through their warm downs, and Hollymount-Carramore will wonder, of course, do they leave it behind them, Aidan? That's what we always say about the underdog. You'll say no, this is going to bring them on.
No, I wouldn't. As Jackie said, in the last 2 or 3 years, there's been a point, draws, points. So both teams, there's very little between them. The next day, I can't see a whole lot of difference either. That game would probably have brought us on today, because as I said, it's the first time I was in a quarter-final, and we were playing against a team that had been around the block a couple of years in this level, so that would actually give some of our guys the belief, look, we're good enough to play at this level, to play against some of these guys. So it'll be all to play for again the next day. There won't be much in it, I can't see.
Okay, so we are, I'm not sure, I do see Desi seems to have fished out a player. I'm not sure who it is. It's like it's one of the Feerigs. I think is it Kevin Feerig? Kevin Feerig. It's like Kevin coming up to us, and not sure if we have anybody from Ballintubber yet. Desi has fished him away from the Hollymount-Carramore warm down. He might be glad of the bit of a break. He was heavily involved. He got some good scores.
He did, yeah, and he played very well, and he's coming looking for the ball, the distribution of the ball. He actually I think he hit the post twice in the first half with shots. He was really unlucky, but he linked up play very well today.
Yeah, Kevin Feerick, a crucial man for Hollymount-Carramore. He's a long trek up the stand. He'll be with us in a moment. It's been a long enough hour of football without having that Everest climb at the end. Kevin, we've saved you from the warm down anyway. You'll be glad of that bit. We've saved you from the warm down. That was. we're paying you €4 now here, Kevin. Just come a little bit here, Kevin, to us here. Try and put some sense on that.
I don't know where to start. We're gone, we're back, we're gone. Just, I know, never say die for most of the end, but we just hung on. We never could get the lead. If we could just get the lead once, I thought we'd stay ahead. But just legs at the end, myself included, kicking into the keeper's hands, just paid dividends. But in fairness to the lads, 2 massive points from Darren and Conor at the end saved us really. So
they were fantastic points.
Yeah, great points. Yeah.
Ballintubber are crafty old warriors, of course. They picked off a few scores in the counter-attack then.
Experience, in fairness to them, like they're always just so hard to put away. The cuteness of them, but I thought I had them.
Well, you get another chance, Kevin. It's not gone yet.
Yeah. No, definitely. Like they're definitely there for the taking.
We'll try and edit. That's a sportsshow.ie one, isn't it? Here's the one club player said. Any word on a replay date then? Is there anything down there yet?
I went tonight. I don't know what's going to happen now. So I no talks yet, but more than likely, hopefully, it's probably Friday or something like that. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Okay, well, enjoy your wedding, Kevin. Enjoy your wedding. Darren Cohn here as well too. Darren, you're very welcome. Thank you for joining us, first of all. Draws are funny things, Darren, aren't they? All of a sudden it's over, you're not gone, you might have taken it. Yeah, it was a bit of both.
Yeah, hard to process it. Not sure where we're at the minute, but seemed a good game out there to watch, and it's from the neutral point of view. But look, I think it's Wednesday night. If it's Wednesday night, I think we're looking forward to that already. So
Kevin thought it might be Friday night. We thought it might be Wednesday night. Have you a preference?
Either or, to make any difference. Just go again.
Are you working during the week?
No, I'm off for 2 weeks now. So yeah, I plan. No, good game, I'd say. Tough battle. You always knew it was going to be a tough battle against Ballintubber. I suppose we were big outsiders coming in. We always felt we had a chance. We're disappointed we didn't finish it off there, but look, we'll go again Wednesday or Friday whenever it's on.
Overall, you have to be happy with your second half performance, the comeback you made, and you pushed it all the way.
Yeah, you got to be happy with it. I think we were 4 or 5 points down there at one stage. Did well to claw it back, but look, we're disappointed with the first half. We let ourselves down there in the first half. We didn't play, we stayed back, we didn't push forward, but look, we'll lots to work on, and hopefully we'll get on the right side next day.
Okay, cheers, Darren. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you, Darren Cohen, Hollymount-Carramore, free scoring forward. I'm not sure if Desi, who's a very persuasive type, has managed to fish out a Ballintubber voice. If anybody can, it's Desi and Liam Hindley down there as well. They don't take no for an answer, Jackie. They're like Hollymount-Carramore there today.
They're not great at talking at this time of the night, but maybe 1 or 2 in the morning they're great for talking, but now, yeah.
He's his hand on somebody's shoulder. I don't know, is it Killian or not? Damien Coleman. I think he might have played soccer with him perhaps in Manola. Does Damien Coleman play in Manola?
Yeah.
Maybe before Desi's time, maybe
put the hand around him.
Everybody played in Desi's time. Sure, Desi's playing forever with Manola. So yes, Damien Coleman. You're impressed by his move back the field?
By Damien Coleman. Yeah, well, Damien's one of those players he actually can play any place, but since they moved him back in the half-back line, that takes experience, but a general know-how on the ball. He's very composed on the ball, won't give it away. 2-footed, which you need in a position like that, especially for marking Mikey Conway or somebody, you have to be able to get away from him. Sneak away.
Yes, Damien, thank you very much for joining us. Can you make a bit of sense of that? That was wild for Ohio.
A bit wild, yeah, a bit crazy, but sure, listen, these things happen, championship football, that's what it's about, but listen, we look forward to Wednesday night, big challenge, and better team will win on the day.
Is it Wednesday night confirmed, you believe?
Not sure, to be honest.
You lead at half time. They came at you very strong. They got some great scores, but you kept nibbling away as well. You got some excellent scores too.
Yeah, so listen, 2 good sets of forwards on display, but we wouldn't be happy with our second half performance, but we'll learn from it, and hopefully, as I said, Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever it is, we'll go again.
No rest for the wicked, so.
No rest for the wicked. No. Not when Mayo keep winning.
Damien, thank you very much for joining us.
Cheers, thanks a million. Thanks.
Thank you. This is Damien Coleman from Ballintubber, and I think that brings our special guests, our player guests, to an end. And I'm going to have a final word with all the 3 lads. First of all, Jackie, and thanks to Tom Carney as well too. Jackie's got a phone call. Oh, sorry, yeah. Well, Tom Prendergast, is it? In the dark, in the shadow, I couldn't see him properly.
Hi,
Tom, how are you? For his old Mayo colleague, up here, Tom, you've stand up there as well too. Tom Prendergast, Ballintubber manager. What do you think?
Of what, Liam?
Of that.
That being what happened out there. I suppose, look, for a spectator, it was probably an enjoyable evening's entertainment. I suppose 34 points in 60-something minutes. It's probably a few more points on going one way than I would have liked, or that we would have liked, but Look, we'd be happy with an awful lot of what we did, but disappointed to have conceded so much. I suppose that's, in a nutshell, that'll be it.
They got some superb scores from distance in the second half as well. They're hard to guard against.
Yeah, I suppose, but like I'd like to feel that we can put a bit more pressure on the shooter, you know, when they're taking those. But yeah, look, they had a sweet night. Conor Kane hit some beauties, and Darren as well from downtown, and you know, you can't legislate for those maybe to some extent, but I think we'd be disappointed, I think, with the pressure that we got in the middle third, particularly in the middle of the second half. We kind of lost control of that area, where first half and up to that point we'd been very effective in stopping their running game. And that sort of that kind of degenerated for us a little bit towards the end, and yeah, they hit some great scores. So credit to them, they hit some fantastic scores.
Have you any word of a replay exactly?
Well, as I understood beforehand, replays were for Wednesday nights. I haven't heard anything tonight to confirm that it will be. I don't know. Obviously, it's not ideal from the point of view of guys away in Dublin and that kind of thing. It's logistically very difficult for small rural clubs to deal with Wednesday night replays. But look, we'll see what comes of that. But my understanding prior to it was that there were Wednesday nights.
Okay, Tom, thank you very much for joining us. Okay, Tom Prendergast, Ballintubber manager. His first year in the post, having been involved, of course, as a player and is also with Mayo as a member of James Horan's management team, a very important member of his management team. I think that's finally our special guest. Jackie, that phone call has gone through, you're okay. And
my wife checking up and I say, where am I gone?
You're hiding in plain sight tonight.
I won't get away till I'm playing football at this stage. I don't, she won't believe me.
You'll go again anyway Wednesday night.
Yeah, we'll go Wednesday night. We have no alternative at this stage. I suppose we're lucky to be still in it, and yet we will go in and we'll think that maybe we should have had the composure maybe to hold on, but at the same time we have to be happy that we're still there at least anyway. Breaffy are not there, and that with two different camps tonight, it's not a nice place to be. So we're still there. We'll be here again Wednesday night.
Still there, Aidan?
Oh yeah, it's all to play for again. It's total new ball game. What happened there tonight, it could be totally different the next night. As just the people watch that game now, and guys will try to do different matchups from the last day. They'll probably try to learn from them games, like as manager here from Ballintubber said, we didn't do this, do that right, and different parts of the game will change, and the managers will have different tactics for the game. So it'll be a different game, but I can't see it being a whole lot different in so both teams are very tight again.
And your final thoughts, Mickey?
Yeah, as Aidan said, I'd say there'll be different matchups the next day. I can't see Jason Gibbons getting the free rein he had there in midfield tonight. Cillian O'Connor and Alan Dillon definitely more the first half than the second half had much more impact on the game, so they could be targeted from the start the next day. But then again, they're very good players. It's hard to curb them for the full game, so they're going to have their moment of dominance in it. Hollymount side of things, Conor Kane and Darren Cohn, they'll be definitely looked at when the boys pay the €4 to watch the video back. They'll definitely be buying it during the week and dissecting it and seeing where they can improve the next day. And as I said, Conor Kane might be marked by maybe Colin Hanlon might be back for the Wednesday night game. Depends on that on his injury. So yeah, look, there's positives and negatives on both sides, but at the end of the day, I suppose replays are always made out, a lot of replays during the summer, and it's all about who recovers best tonight. Tomorrow you'll find a lot of them will be booked into a pool somewhere, maybe a bit of video analysis tomorrow night before they go back to Dublin and their colleges or their clubs or wherever they're going to work. And probably I couldn't imagine them in training Tuesday night. I'd say they'll get straight here maybe around 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock on Wednesday night, and whoever learns more is going to win it.
Okay, well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Mickey, thank you for being here all day with us for both games. Aidan Campbell for this evening, Hollymount-Carramore, and Jackie Heenan for Ballintubber, our analyst. And hopefully we'll be doing the replay as well. We have to figure out, we've some logistical problems ourselves. Tom Carney was our match commentator for the second game, thanks to Brendan Dowd, who is our editor, and to Conor Dowd, our cameraman, Liam Henley on social media, Desi Campbell, our director, Paula Ballester-Murat, our broadcast assistant, our earlier analysis team of Nuala Burke of Breaffy, a disappointed Nuala this evening, and John Brennan of Claremorris. And I think I've got everybody, I think I've got them all there, hopefully. I think I have. With that, we're finished here in Elverys MacHale Park this evening. We are back here again tomorrow. We have the minor and junior finals tomorrow. At 1 o'clock we have the minor final between Westport and Ball, and at 3 o'clock we have the junior final, which is a very interesting one between Lahardon MacHales and Kilmaine. And if we get half as much excitement tomorrow as we got today, it'll be well worth the trip. You can watch this back in the archive later on as well too, once you've purchased a ticket. If you've had any problems, do let us know. There are always a few little issues, of course, when working with live streaming. Do let us know. Our phone numbers, etc., on the website, and we will be archiving, putting this back out there again, hopefully very, very soon. So that's it. We'll let the credits roll now from Elverys MacHale Park here. Big shock. Breaffy are gone from the Mayo Senior Football Championship. Claremorris have beaten them, and Hollymount-Carramore must meet Ballintubber again to decide who goes through to the semi-final. Thank you and good night.
That's it. We're getting good.